All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you're having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. Look, my apologies for almost being late. I was apparently learning the words to a Korean drinking song. Didn't know that's what I was doing. But
That sounds like
we,
fun.
we, we can talk about that later. All right.
Absolutely.
We got some economic data coming out. Guys, yeah, it's 8:30. We got some economic data today. We have a whole bunch of numbers coming out. Frankly, none of them I expect to be extremely impactful in the market. That being said, I see the market actually reacting today, so I like that. All right, let's go through them. We've got some employment data. Let's start there. The employment report, in terms of also called non-farm payrolls, is out. It's lower than anticipated. 169,000 was the expectation. 143,000 was the number that actually came out, so that's a little lower. Interestingly, the hourly earnings, I jumped one. Hourly wages, 0.3% growth was 0.5%. So anybody out there working on an hourly rate, do you feel 0.5% richer? You should. Anyways, according to the average data. And then the unemployment rate, we got to find that, 4.1%, actually came in better than expected at only 4.0 at the, well, this is the unemployment rate. So we keep getting these mixed data, right? Less jobs available, but less people looking for work. So I don't know what that means. Are people just giving up? Is that what it means? Or is everybody just more employed? They don't need to? I don't know. Later this morning, or later today, we do have a number of other things. A number of Feds are getting on public appearances. Again, usually no market impact, but be aware of them. 8:40, 9:25. There's one at 10:30. There's one after the market close. There's all sorts of stuff. And it seems like some of the stuff fell off the bottom of my list because at 10 a.m. we have wholesale inventories. And then at 3 p.m. today, we do have the consumer credit report that's coming out. So just be aware of those items. Again, if you're in a trade at 10 or at 3, otherwise in between, it's free reign. And we've got a lot of earnings that are here and on our gappers list. So yeah, we might as well start taking a look at those.
Yep, absolutely, friends. Let's start. Quick look at our gappers list brought to you by tradingterminal.com. You can see that right on there. We do have some good earnings we're going to talk about today. Pins leading the way on that. Earnings last night probably was the big winner, so we'll talk about that. And we got some other ones. CleanSpark, Baba, my favorite Chinese ticker to trade on the gap side of things. And then gapping down, we have the big guy Amazon not doing so hot this morning with some, again, the results were not that bad. We went over them yesterday. But there was something in here that, investors did not like yesterday. And of course, the stock is reacting to it now. So, all right, let's get to it, friends. Let's take a look at the first one. Is going to be Pins. We'll take a look on how Pins is doing today. Big move up last night, as you can see here. It crushed it. It was up 20%. It came down a little bit to about 18, 17, right back up to 21 this morning. Not a great intraday ticker. But Peter, today's their day. We're going to be watching this one, of course, the big winner out of yesterday's earning plays.
Yeah, and I'm sort of surprised that they are the one of the better moving stocks out of this. Jared did warn us, though. He said they tend to make outsized moves, and he once again was dead on. So, if we haven't learned anything yet, you should know, always listen to what Jared says. He is rarely wrong. You just have to decide what to do with that data, but he certainly knows his stuff. All right, so Pinterest had, or Pinterest, whatever Andrew used to call it, has earnings. They beat on revenue, but missed on bottom line earnings. So, it wasn't all rosy. They did guide higher, which I was surprised at. But they do have an expectation in 2025 that they are, in the first quarter anyways, that they are going to that they're going to hit a lot higher. And that seems to be what's floating them. They were up as high as $43 right after the earnings announcement came out. You can see the price is sitting around 41.20, I'll say right now. And looking strong. The volume not as, not super high. We're only sitting about 1.6 million shares traded so far. But it's absolutely in play, being up over 20%. So, yeah, I think it's one that goes on the list. See what it does at the market open. Keep in mind, while it's a tech stock, it does trade on the New York Stock Exchange. Being a NYSE stock, that means that you got to wait for that volume to come in. So just be aware of that, right? Which means, it's just the profile is just slightly different. So always pay attention to that and on which exchange this trades, because it can change the profile. So I'll be watching it, Carlos. We'll see what it happens, or see what it does. That's what I
See
mean.
what it does. Yeah, yep, absolutely. All right, next on here, friends, is going to be PGY. So PGY, Pagaya Technologies. They are up this morning 10%. Typically not a great trading stock, so doesn't usually make my list. You can see the daily here. It's just very, very low volume. We had a segment in November where we did something, but again, mostly this is what you get. It's not a great intraday trading stock. Won't be on my list. But Peter, what's the latest and greatest on this one?
Yeah, this is an interesting story. You have to understand their business, and I have to admit I don't understand enough about their business. So they're a technology company working in the financial system. They use an AI-driven product software, so they're checking some boxes there. But they've basically bought $2.4 billion worth of consumer loans that were managed by a company called Blue Owl Funds, but that they've bought back. So they originated through their loan network. They've bought these loans back. I assume they've cherry picked these, that they're good risk loans. Anyway, it's because they bought this $2.4 billion worth of loans back. And presumably they'll be collecting on them at a profitable rate. So I'd have to dig into more exactly how this works. I mean, they've got revolving private credit plans is basically what they seem to provide. And they obviously believe these loans are good risk. And I guess the market agrees, because they are gapping up about 10% this morning.
Yeah, they're getting some love here today. So yeah, up 10%. If you like this one, if you traded before in the past, add it to your list. Will not be on mine, but let's move over to CleanSpark. So CleanSpark today up 6.4, 784,000 shares traded. Looks like last night they got a little pop going here. So after hours, got a little bit of a move here. I don't know if these guys had earnings, Peter, or what drove them up a little bit here. They were not on our watch. Again, we're busy with Amazon pins and other stuff. But they're up here this morning, 6.4, 783,000 shares traded. What's the news driving these guys forward today?
So it does look like they had earnings. The problem is there's not a lot of analysts that follow these guys. So I'm having a tough time getting some detailed information here. Looks like, I mean, I've got earning call highlights. I don't know, because I don't know what the analyst expectations. I can tell you what they delivered. They had $162.3 million in revenue. They had 248. Wow, wait. $246.8 million in net income. How is their net income $100 million or $80 million higher than their revenue? Anyways, that's pretty awesome. That sounds magical. I don't know how they did that. All right. Anyways, according to the release that the company sent out, those are their numbers. I mean, I guess they would bring, maybe they count income from assets they already own, like Bitcoin assets, as opposed to new incoming revenue. I don't know. There you go. Okay. Russell seems to be helping me out here. Says that they basically, wow. Yeah. I mean, it says that their expected return on earnings per share was 9 cents, but they delivered 85 cents. That sounds way out of whack there. That's almost 10 times the expected.
We should be gapping up to $15 here if that's the case.
But
something's wrong.
Yeah, look, and he does confirm that their sales were 162.3 million, which is what I see out of the company release. Says that the estimate was 150 million. The net income line is still pretty weird, but hey, man, look, they're gapping up on the list. So CleanSpark, great quarter, up 6%. I don't know, Carlos. This is one that it's sort of in the cryptocurrency field. It's always hovered around the edges for me, and it's never been a great trader. So,
yeah, it's my least favorite out of all the Bitcoin plays, to be honest. I mean, there's been situations where they are trading very well, and you can see CleanSpark doing some pretty cool stuff. But out of all of them, this is my least favorite. But I know many traders in the community, even on YouTube, they like this one. So if you like it, put it on your list. It looks like they have something going on today. But yeah, it won't be on mine here this morning. But yeah. All right, let's take a look at Baba is next. Not Byra, Baba. It's BABA. Here we go. Baba today, 4%, 4.5 million shares traded. So, man, Baba's been on a tear lately. Look at this here. They're hanging out at 80 in the last couple of on a month or so. They've been right up to 100, now 104, breaking recent highs here on about from last week. Peter, what's going on with Baba, man? They're looking pretty good right now.
They seem to be benefiting from some confusion in the marketplace, or at least rumors. Alibaba executives are out there vehemently denying that they have invested or will invest about $1 billion in DeepSeek. As you probably remember, we've been pushing, or at least not pushing, we've been mentioning the fact that they've been pushing their own AI engine, right? And it's like quick. It starts QW. I always forget what the thing is called. It's Quen, QW. I assume that's how you pronounce it. Anyways, so people are speculating for some reason. I don't know how this rumor started, that they are investing heavily in DeepSeek, and they're saying, no, we're not, man. We got our own. But it seems to actually be giving the stock a lift. So a lift. I mean, so you know what? Hey, look. I mean, if it benefits the company, I guess keep going out there denying. I wonder if they're doing it in a way that's like, no, we're not investing in DeepSeek, not at all.
Yeah.
But anyways, whatever they're doing, it seems to be working for their stock price.
Absolutely. It's all about the delivery. And if that message is being delivered questionably, yeah, I can see that. Hey, listen, sometimes the rumors trade better than the actual news. So this will be on my main list. I love it. It's trading well today. I love the volume here. Guys, 4.5 for Baba is actually really, really good. And this daily, if we take a look at it here, this is a great daily. Like this breakout I'm seeing here is beautiful. So I like this a lot, actually. So, so far on my list, we got pins. We got Baba on deck this morning. And there, excuse me. Let's see what else we can take off this list. All right, next, SMCI, which has earnings next week. Peter, this is the one. Was this the one that kind of moved the earnings back or forward, or the push? What was the deal with the earnings on this one? Because we've been waiting for this to come out.
I mean, they failed to provide earnings like 6 months ago, and still haven't to this day. This is the one where their auditor resigned in a huff and said, we ain't doing it. And they had to go out and find a new auditor, and the company tanked after that happened. And if you look back on the daily, you can sort of figure out when that all occurred. Because they were on a big run up before that. And then they've fallen from grace all the way down, right, from 120 to 20 or lower. And it's interesting that they've just been sitting here, hanging out, waiting for earnings. So they announced earlier this week, they announced the announcement. They said they will provide earnings by the end of the month, but haven't exactly said what those earnings would look like, nor do I think that they provided a day when
they're going Tuesday. They're going Tuesday is what I have.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they've said the 11th. So we'll see, man. Like if they actually do, then great. And you know what? This thing is beaten down so much from where it was. Now, again, if you look at where the price is settled, it's pretty much where we were in 2023. So a little over a year ago, 14, 15 months ago. If you sort of go back, you can see we've flattened to before the big rise. But there's an opportunity for a big gain here if they even just give half decent numbers, right? No hint. They don't even have to do anything special. I'm willing to bet if they just say, look, we have revenue, we're not doing illegal stuff, our auditors have signed off, this thing could be in play. I mean, look, it's in play on the speculation of that happening. So Carlos, I don't know what to expect out of it today. If I look at the price action yesterday, it was pretty choppy. Like, it was hard to trade. But if you don't mind the chop, there was definitely movement. I mean, it was moving in about a $2 range or so. So you could have got some movement, but it wasn't easy. So today's probably going to be another not easy day, would be my guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna have it on my list here. We'll put it on my main list for now. It might not stay there. I might end up moving it down, but for the most part right now, I like the breakout that we're getting here. So let's see where it goes. All right, and then if we take a look at tradingterminal.com, friends, over on our scanners, we have SMCI is good. OKLO continues to make a lot of noise. We'll look at a few more, and
Yeah.
then we'll head over to our gap down. But look at OKLO on the daily, man. This is just wild. It's been getting some really great moves. Intraday, though, it's not that clean. Like, yes, yesterday we got a beautiful drop here, right? Beautiful, beautiful drop. And then we just struggle, like a lot of sideways action on yesterday there. So I don't know. It's a hit or miss. Beautiful trade yesterday, though. A nice 5-minute engulfing pattern. This is something that if Andrew was trading yesterday, he would have taken this trade. This is so his trade if he was watching it. He loves his engulfing cracks. So he would have taken that. But yeah, today we are up 2.4. Peter, this one obviously in play. Are you going to have it on your list today?
I have to admit, I have not been a believer in OKLO, and then I look at the daily, and I'm thinking that was my bad. That was to my detriment, because it's taken off, right? I mean, I know this as a $25 stock, and now it's $50. So clearly, it's been making some moves, and it's just some sort of. I was going to say steadily moving up, but it hasn't been that steady because it actually. Moved up to about $40, dropped down 10 to 30 on an overnight or over weekend, and then it's sort of climbed all back up. So that daily it just looks fascinating. If you like OKLO and you've been trading it, then you know what, stick with it. Why not? I mean, it's been getting the volume. We're talking about an average of about 22 to 25 million shares a day, with it peaking around 50 million shares. So hey, look, I can't deny it anymore. This thing is in play. So you go, Oklo.
Absolutely. All right, let's take a look here. Friends, let's take a look at the next one. Is going to be, I think that covers our gap up, really. I don't see that one, don't trail that well. Novo Nordics, we've been talking about it, but again, it's not a great ticker. And Wolf is pretty bad as well, so I'm not going to get into those. Peter, what do you like this morning that maybe we have not covered on our gap up today?
Let's see. Gap up. We talked about Pinterest. How about AFRM? We should talk about them. They had earnings after the close yesterday,
Yeah.
and they're up a
Yep.
good, healthy amount. Up above the daily range that we had here, sitting at 12.9% up right now, having closed yesterday at under 62, and we're sitting at almost 70 at this point. So they delivered very positive earnings yesterday, and had increased guidance. So and I was the one that was talking, saying that I was expecting that because of the recent expectations on retail drop, that they might be forecasting lower, being sort of a retail-based lender, right? And I guess I'm off on that. Their executive feel differently, and they should know better than I would. So they have this very surprised profit, very surprised outlook that says that they're expected to grow in the next quarter and way above analyst expectations. So we'll see what happens. There could be a lot of disappointment coming if they don't hit it, but for the moment, they're gapping up, and volume's a little lower to say it's heavily in play this morning, but AFRM is one of those ones that has been often on our list for years now. So if you like it, there it is.
Yep, absolutely. I'm going to take a look at that, guys. So I see that there's some issues with the scanners here on tradingterminal.com. Looks like the volume might be lower. We'll take a look at it, guys. So I got your messages over on YouTube. I will send that to the developers and find out what's going on. I think this happened before and they fixed it, but
what
yeah,
volume?
I could see. The volume is off on tradingterminal.com by quite a bit on some of these, so we'll figure it out. It's a lot lower, which, again, we saw this issue before in the past. If you look at pins, it's showing 953,000. It has 1.7 million. So, yeah, that's not good. We'll figure that out. Okay. All right, let's see what's gapping down this morning, friends. We're looking at Bill. So, Bill today, have we ever looked at Bill? Have we ever even looked at this stock? Bill is down 31%. 718,000 shares traded. So that's quite a bit. Peter, I don't know what this stock does. 98 million is the flow, so not bad. What's the latest and greatest on this?
I don't know that we've ever looked at this. This is a company called Bill.com. And being that this is a software, they have an application. Anybody use this? I assume it's a software to manage your personal finances or company finances. It's a financial operations platform provider. There you go. See, build.com. Anyways, they had earnings and they guided significantly lower than expected. So in the last quarter, it looks like their revenue was good, their earnings were good, so they earned 10 cents more per share than anticipated. Their revenue was up by about 3 million over expectations, only a 1% difference, but still it was higher. The problem is in their guidance, their outlook. So it seems like their fiscal year is offset because they're only forecasting for the third quarter. And their third quarter forecast has them significantly lower than analysts' expectations on the revenue side. So, that's why it's dropping. I don't know, never traded this, Carlos. Just looking at it right here, pre-market price action doesn't look all that great. So I think we got better things probably to watch.
Yeah, I think so as well, man. So I'm going to leave that one alone. Next on the gap down list is going to be Elf. Elf also reported yesterday. We talked a little bit about it in our live stream. If you guys were joining us then, it did report huge drop, man, down 23% right now this morning. And I don't know how well this stock trade. Typically, if you look at the daily, it's not a great stock as far as volume, so the volatility might not be there. But beginning of middle of January, man, this thing just started dropping. And today, it's just the bottom fell out. So they have not been doing well, Peter, as you can see here. And obviously, earnings reflecting that today.
Yeah, and their earnings were sort of okay in the last quarter. Once again, the problem is in their forecast. So they've looked at their January sales, and based on that, they've actually lowered their guidance for the forthcoming quarter, which they're in right now. So that has got analysts very disappointed, so much so in fact that they had several downgrades this morning. UBS, Morgan Stanley, DA Davidson all downgraded the stock, and interestingly, they all downgraded the stock, but all have price targets that are still above the current price but significantly lower than their previous targets. Again, how analysts figure this out, I have no idea. They've all downgraded. They used to call them a buy or overweight, whatever you want to say, basically saying you should overweight your portfolio with it. They're now saying take a neutral stance, meaning reduce your size. But they all had targets between $150 and $170 on this thing. And now they're all saying 70 to 80 is probably the right range. And we're below that. So, I don't know how they figure this stuff out, but it seems nonsensical to me. So yeah, you know what, Cody, I wouldn't be surprised if they use a magic 8 ball. It makes as much sense as what they actually do. But again, if you're an analyst out there, I don't offer my apologies, but sorry, I don't believe in what you do. All right. Moving on. That's my old guy. I need a drink.
Yeah. There you go. All right, friends, let's get to GH this morning. This looks brutal. Guardant Health, if I'm pronouncing that. Yeah, I don't know what this is, but they don't look great, man. This does not look like a great trading ticker at all, so I'm not even going to bother with this. Peter, anything you want to share with this before we just move on to the elephant in the room?
Yeah, this is like a secondary. They have what they call a debt exchange transaction. Anyways, not interesting. We can move on. We don't need to go into what that is.
Yeah, we'll move on, friends. All right, let's take a look. Amazon is up next, at the bottom of the gap down list this morning here, obviously with earnings last night. And right now they're down 2.7. So down 2.7, 2.4 million shares traded. Peter, their earnings at first didn't seem that bad. The reaction was pretty bad after hours. Recovered and kind of moving sideways a little bit now.
Yeah, so obviously we did talk about this after hours, and we were watching it, and look at that, man. If I'd been able to sort of hang around for longer, I could have got the short that I was looking for. Anyways, I tried to take this short on the bounce and basically got stopped out here. But look at that, it almost came out to break even and then dropped. Look, their quarter, once again, not bad, right? They had decent revenue, they had decent earnings. It was slightly better than analyst expectations. The problem, as always, happens with guidance, and they guided lower for the next quarter. Now, like I mentioned after hours, the reality was that all eyes were sort of on their web services, their AWS, and that was decent. It was up 19%, which is, I think, what sort of had prompted it perhaps to pop back up here. However, when they provided their forward-looking guidance in more detail, they did say that they're expecting to come in the next quarter below analysts' expectations. So, I don't know what to make of this. Like Amazon, being lower than expectations, are the expectations set appropriately? I guess that's the question, but I suppose ultimately that doesn't matter because, what matters is how the market's going to react, and whether I believe in the analysts or not, they have huge influence over market pricing. So we are dropping this morning down 2.7%, or about $6. Keep in mind at the peak, if you will, we were down more than twice that. Hitting a low of 222, which, by the way, that see that spike candle right at the beginning of this chart we've got there, just that big wick. That's exactly what Jared predicted. So I don't mean to inflate Jared's ego too much, but when you're right, man, and you deserve credit for that. He called that price. Like we said, what's the expected move? He said it's going to, 222, and it hit 222. Like, what do you do, man? It is what it is. So credit to you. Rafzilla's calling it a bromance. Man, there's nothing wrong with giving someone credit when they're right, and when you're right,
Yeah.
you're right. He was
There's
right.
Jared doing a victory dance. Good job, man. Love it. We love it. Awesome. All right, friends. That's all we have in the gap up and down. So again, pretty light list as far as the gap down. Not much going on there, but a great ticker, Amazon, on my list today. Peter, anything you like that's gapping down, not showing here, or other stocks you want to keep an eye on today?
Well, from an earnings perspective, you hit the two that I had really wanted to talk about. So we got them in terms of Amazon and ELF. Another one that did have earnings this morning. I used to love to follow these guys, but Canopy Growth Corporation, CGC, they were like the original and the largest. At one point, they were the largest. Legal pot producer, marijuana producer. They've fallen off the radar because, frankly, they have not been trading well, and their stock has not been doing well. You look at it daily on CGC, and they're down at $2 now, and you can see it's just been sliding. Like, yeah, it's horrible. So, anyways, maybe it's a good thing. I never joined them. Not that I ever got the offer, but it was. I probably told you this before, but this was the company. They're local. They based out of Smiths Falls here for me, or I'm not sure if they still are, but that's where they were. I interviewed for their CEO job, and it was, for me, it was a business that I wasn't familiar with. So it was fascinating to sort of see what they did and what their expectations were, and where they were planning to go. So, but here they are now. So not a big volume trader anymore, unfortunately. That being said, I'm surprised to see over 3 million shares traded so far this morning. If I look at the chart, though, I'm not really seeing it. I'm not seeing that volume in play here, so I'm not sure. It must have been sometime overnight. But
Which ticker, Peter?
Yeah.
I missed that ticker. Which one?
CGC. Yeah, you got it. I see 3.3 million shares traded so far. So, like I said, it's probably not a great one to put on your radar for day trading. I think we got better targets, but it's one that I watch. Other than that, whole bunch of other earnings out there on stuff. If you're interested, you could look it up. TradingTerminal.com has got a full list, but I'm going to go back to some of my usuals. Tesla down this morning, just marginally down 0.7%. Or about $2, so obviously that's within range. Again, I like how Tesla's been moving, some good price action there. And you know what, Microsoft, I have to admit that I've got a little bit of a love thing going on with Microsoft, because yesterday we all have our strategies, right, that we like to trade. I have a target strategy called the Mountain Pass. And Carlos, I don't know if you can call it maybe a 1-minute chart, but just for everybody, sometimes you get these opportunities where, unfortunately, I was in a meeting yesterday, but look at just where it hits the high of day, right over 418 there, around 11:30ish. Yeah, it is an absolutely picture. This is a textbook trade setup. Like, everything hits 100% perfect for my strategy. And unfortunately, again, I was in a meeting and didn't take it. I saw this afterwards, and to this moment, I'm still all Romo over this thing. It
Flustered.
is just, yeah, it is so absolutely perfect. I just can't contain myself. So, anyways, so there you go. Missed opportunity to be what a beautiful trade. Like sometimes, again, they always look a little different. You got to manage your expectations, and you got to sort of, figure out how you make your strategy work. This is one where you literally could just follow the book, check everything off, and say off you go to the races. And it gave an excellent return. Like it continued down for the rest of the day. So, anyways, I'm hoping to find another one of those today, of course. Whether it'll be Microsoft or something else, there
Yeah.
it was. Anyways,
I'm looking at your example for this mountain pass, right? So I'm taking a look at it now. Our good buddy Thor put it up on the chat. It is literally identical to Microsoft. Like this is your perfect example, which you guys can have access to on babytrace.com on their classes. Join for $1, you can get access to this. Dude, it's almost the same.
We'll go one step further, and I can't seem to. I'll put this in the chat room. I don't know if you can pick it up from there, but John went and he put a picture of a mountain in the middle of it and said, "Yep, checks out."
Is this yesterday's chart? How is John doing this so fast? John is doing some AI stuff.
He's great at doing that stuff quickly. So
anyways,
he put a mountain and said, "Yeah, checks out." I love it. So anyways, it was just such a great trade. I thought I'd mention it. It's rare you get one that is just so like ideal, like where everything checks the boxes. So, in any event, that's what we live for, right? Those opportunities. So that's why you got to stay ever vigilant to your trading strategies. Again, there will always be another trade, another opportunity will come. So I'll be ready for it.
Yep, absolutely. All right, friends, our gap up list keeps growing here. We're not going to go through more of these, but you see Mara coming up here as well. Again, trades better than Clean Spark, so maybe you like that one. Riot also making an appearance. RGTI, there's a few on there. Well, if we have time towards the end, we'll get to those. But right now, let's go over to our community events and announcements. We got a couple of really great things happening, Pierre. You're going to fill in everybody on. It's a couple of changes as well. So yeah, let's go to that, and then we'll come back and look at what else we can pick off from this list.
Yeah, it looks like cryptocurrency is making a run higher right now, so that's why I think we're getting a lot of the Maras and other things on the list. So it popped up to 98,842 right now for Bitcoin. So there you go.
Awesome.
Yeah, if we look forward to next week, guys, we've been updating our schedule. We've got some new stuff on the schedule and some changes. So bear with us as we make these changes, but it's all in aid of serving you better. So we've got a few things that we can talk about. So starting on Monday is always when we do our onboarding and when we bring new people into the room. And we've got 2 sessions that are going to help you out that are in our onboarding room. First is with Brendan at noon. That helps you understand DOS Trader Pro. It's a great tool, but even like yesterday morning, right? We gave some tips on how to configure it and make it better. So, there's always things you can learn about the tool, and Brendan will help you with that. So join him at noon on Monday. And then Carlos, you personally lead the onboarding session we have in the evening. It's a great time for new members. We'll often join over the weekend, or even if you've been here for a while and you just want to make sure that you're up to speed and you take full advantage of what you can get out of your membership and get some tips on how to get started on trading, then this onboarding class is the place for you. So that's 8 o'clock on Mondays. Now, what we've added is, for everybody's awareness, is that there is a PCT, there's a boot camp prep meeting. Is that happening, Mike? What is this? What are we prepping for? And this is new to me. So, but it looks like we've added this at 1 o'clock for our boot campers. So if you're in the student in the PCT bootcamp, then be aware that we have this 1 o'clock meeting. Go to peakcapitaltrading.com, and then you can find out the details and get access to the meeting room for that. So the meeting room link is in there. If you're a bootcamp student, then you know where that is, hopefully, and you know how to get there. Tuesdays, we've got our strategy and trade book series. So that hasn't changed for next week. Thor is taking over. This week we were talking options. We've been talking options for a couple weeks. We're going to look, now we're going to change. We're going to talk strategy, but a strategy that can be applied to almost anything. Thor trades it on futures and equities. You could trade it on options. I mean, you could trade this strategy wherever you want. So that's at 8 o'clock in the evening, our regular time for our strategy session. And then next week, on February, well, the week after next, I suppose, on the 18th of February, is when Eamon's going to be talking about a blueprint for trading success if you want to use his breakout strategy. So it's one that he's perfected and focuses on every day. So he's looking for those perfect examples, like I am on my mountain pass. He's looking for those on the breakout. So he'll talk to you about that, how it works, and how it gets set up. And here's where we added some new stuff. So for our, we got a trade book webinar that happens at 11 a.m. So if you're interested in understanding how you could set up a small account and manage it, and then leverage our trade book, by the way, is sort of our signature document that allows you to manage your trade strategies. It's your guide to trading, and it's personal to every person. So it's important to understand how to set up and manage a trade book. He's going to talk about small account option trading and using a trade book. And then at noon, so that's at 11, and then at noon, all of this is Tuesday, by the way, we've got Nathan's session on trading with Bookmap. So we've moved that days, right? It used to be later in the week. We've now moved it up to Tuesday so that we've got all sort of the strategy and trade book stuff on the same day. So busy day, lots of opportunities for learning. Hopefully you'll take advantage of those. Wednesdays, we talk psychology. And we actually need to change the title from psychology and Bookmap just back to psychology, I think, because we've sort of, again, narrowed the focus here. So our psychology webinar in the evening is going to be, once again, 8 o'clock, same time, usual bat place, right, in the webinar room for all of our elite members. We're going to talk about how you master emotional intelligence for resilient trading. That's coming up this coming week. And then the week after, Mike is taking over. He has a series that is very valuable in understanding your own psychology and how to manage it. So that'll be coming up on the 19th of February, again at 8 o'clock. The new session that we've added here is at 11 a.m. Pierre is going to be talking, answering your trading questions, talking primarily psychology, but it can be anywhere, any question trading related that you want. If you're experiencing struggles, you need to get them answered, this would be a great place. So either hold them in and ask Pierre on Wednesday, or if things come up that morning, right? Sometimes it's good, right? When it's hot and fresh in your mind, jump in there in that 11 a.m. session if you're an elite member, and you can take advantage of that with Pierre. All right, Thursdays is our mentorship series. We continue to do our mentorship. Again, these have changed a little bit. We've reduced it to 3 mentorship sessions, where Lenny is going to be doing mentorship on trend trading in the morning. Should help everybody out there at 11 a.m. Lenny's taking over that slot. Jared is continuing to do the options session at 2. He'll be doing that solo now. He used to be doing that with Megan. Megan will be in the chat room. Jared will be doing this options-focused session in the webinar room. And then we've retained the very popular Thursday mentorship session at 8 p.m. So we wouldn't dare change that. We'd get lots of angry messages if we did. So Thor keeps his spot on Thursday evenings. All right, now, Fridays normally are a day off. Starting next week, right, you can look forward to having Sean do a mastery series on trade book strategies and execution. So this is something new that we've added. Normally on Fridays, we give you the day off, right? It's all focused on trading. We've now added this session. And sorry, Mike, if you're out there, confirm. I believe it starts next week, not today. But Sean will be in the webinar room at noon. Yeah, next week. All right, exactly. So, and we'll be starting that session. So something to put on your calendar, because that's new. I'll remind you again next week, but this is something new that we've got for your learning. So now we got 5 days of learning, taking you through the entire week. Hopefully you will take advantage of some of those. If you want information on the markets anytime, any day, go to tradingterminal.com. We use it in the mornings. It's a good place to get information on the markets and keep up to date. And I also want to mention, I can see it flashing here in the corner of the screen. We focus a lot on the TEDx, but we've got a trading summit coming up. And I want you to be aware of that trading summit happening in Vancouver at the end of March. It's the 29th to the 31st. 3 days of solid learning. The first day, it's a TEDx style. It's a private TEDx that we're putting on for our members, a very exclusive event where we're bringing in individuals who can talk about performance, just overall, how to achieve peak performance, how to manage and deal with adversity, right? These are topics that you need to understand as a trader, but also have broader applications to your life. And that's going to be a great session. But what the core and heart of this is 2 days of information sharing of webinars and data that we're going to talk about trading strategies, trading psychology, trading equities, trading options, right? We're going to go through sort of a whole series. Not only that, in terms of the formal presentations, I always find most valuable the conversations you get in the hallway. There's always traders that are there that say, look, man, I've been struggling with this type of problem for the last, 4 months. And I thought I'd bring it to you here. And sometimes it's technical, sometimes it's psychological. Those hallway conversations can be more valuable than anything because you're hanging out with hundreds of traders for a few days. It's a great opportunity, a great experience. While we're there, we will do some live trading while the markets are open on the Monday, and it's just going to be a great session. So hopefully you will join us in Vancouver for this. It's at the Paradox Hotel, fantastic venue. We loved it so much last year. We're back this year, and you don't have to stay there. There's lots of other hotels around. Hey, Mike and I when we last went to Vancouver, we stayed in an Airbnb, and we thought, it should be close to the hotel. We're looking at the valet parking from the Airbnb that we had. It was across the street. It was awesome. We literally could walk across the street because there's also the nightclub is in there that we've booked out for the party that we're throwing. So it's not just trading. There's also party opportunities. Anyways, it'll be fantastic. If you're even thinking about it, don't wait. Buy a ticket, reserve your spot, and join us in Vancouver at the end of March. It's going to be awesome. Okay, Carlos, back to you. I've said enough. Actually, just at a random, completely non-trading note, as I said, I was almost late this morning because, I don't listen to pop rock, but my wife loves it, and she left the radio on in the car, and I was moving the car this morning because we had like a foot of snow overnight. Anyways, and this song came on, and usually I can usually understand the lyrics, and I could not figure out the lyrics of the song to figure me out to save my life, and I'm like, am I getting old? Can I just not understand what they're saying? And it turns out it was a song called APT by Rose and Bruno Mars. And it turns out that they were speaking Korean. So I don't feel so bad. Apparently the song it's about a Korean drinking game. And APT is a patu. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but apparently that's how you pronounce it. It's the name of this game, and you play it in apartments. And anyways, you do your hands thing, and the last person has to take a shot. And it's like any drinking game around the world. Anyway, so it's a song about a drinking game. So I don't feel so bad that I couldn't understand part of the lyrics because they were not speaking a language I understood. So there you go. So
awesome.
If you guys want to learn,
yeah,
there you go. You're welcome.
All right, good enough, man. The question is, do you take a drink after you got out the car to kind of do what the song says? That's the real question. All right.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at what we have going on here, guys. In my list, we got Pins, Baba, SMCI, and Amazon. And we cannot forget POTR. We didn't bring it up today, but I am going to put it on here because POTR, man, this thing has been rocking. Look at it yesterday. We have to watch it. There's no way we could keep this off this list. This stock is just on fire. So, and this happened after earnings. After earnings, they were up huge, and that movement has continued. This stock is just crushing it. All right, let's do some levels, friends. We'll start with Pins here. So Pins right now, a low of the pre-market, we're looking at 40.25. So let's slam that there. And then no. Low of the pre-market is a lot lower, actually, 39.74. And the high of the pre-market is going to be over at 41.24. So there you have it. Again, we're on this own little island here. Pins has been much higher. We've seen it do very well, climb and collapse here a couple of times. Above the pre-market high, we're looking at 42.21. And then above here, we're looking at 43.09. Towards the bottom, we're looking at 38.58. So once we do that, we're surrounded by some pretty good levels on Pins. And again, I like the way this one is moving today. All right, so we'll have that one on deck. Again, tons of volume this morning and an amazing pre-market activity so far. Let's look at Baba. Baba has 4.7 million shares traded. So we got tons of volume here. Nice spike. Again, Peter, you mentioned earlier this could probably be rumors, but the rumors are treating it very well, as you can see here. And again, sometimes the rumors can trade better than the news. High of the pre-market, 107.82. The low of the pre-market, 102. 102.20. And then once we do that, we're surrounded by the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days, right below the pre-market low. We do have a level at 103.65, so we'll slam one there. I'm gonna head over to the left. We've been higher, of course, September, October timeframe. You can see here 110.65. We'll slam one there, and then we have another one at 113.36. And then right here, midpoint below the low of the pre-market, 106.03 is a great one as well. So again, pretty good levels between November and October here off the daily that we're picking up for our good buddy Baba here. Again, I do like the stock when it's in play. Today is definitely in play. It's got great volume. SMCI, SMCI is climbing, guys. So if you look at the pre-market action here, we're moving higher, up 2.7 at the moment. High of the pre-market is just being created at 34.80. So we'll slam a level there. And if we look at that beautiful area, by the way, that's a nice level on the dailies. A lot of resistance here. So if we can break out of this, could be nice. We're trying right now. We're literally right on it. Above that, we do have another level on the daily at a 36.29, and then right up here on 38.47. These guys have earnings coming up on Tuesday. Peter, myself, Jared, Brian are going to be live for that Tuesday afternoon, so be on the lookout for that. Should be a lot of fun to expect what these guys are going to do Tuesday. All right, and then we hop over to Amazon. Amazon right now towards the top, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days, doing a great job. We're going to mark down the high of the pre-market at 232.99, and the low is going to be down at 229.31. So pretty good stuff there. And then towards the bottom, 226.30. It's a great level on the daily. If you draw a line, you can see how much flirting is going on around this area here. It's just all kinds of stuff. So yeah, this is pretty good. You definitely want to have that one on deck. And above the pre-market high, you do have the highs and lows, doing a great job there for you, so you don't have to worry about anything else. All right, let's take a look at POTR right here. POTR yesterday just on fire, man. And today we're pretty much flat, so a little change. It's been down, it's been red, it's been green, but little change right now. 114.28 is the high of the pre-market. The low is 110.43. And then towards the bottom here, you do have your highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. We are going to mark down the high when it did the gap up at 106.74. And once you do that, you're pretty much set. I don't think we have anything higher on POTR. This should be their all-time highs since the IPO back on 2020, I think. Yeah. 2020. So if you've been holding on to this for the last couple of years, you're very happy. You're very, very happy. Even if you had this last month, you're very happy. So POTR crushing it here today. All right, Peter, let's see what our team is. That's our list. Let's see what our team is watching this morning. We'll show what was taking place there.
Yes, indeed. So all of our moderators are starting to get their list in as we get ready for the trading day. Let me start at the top here with Lenny, who's got his list in. He's going to be watching Amazon, Nvidia, Tesla, and AFRM. Thor is going to be watching Microsoft, Tesla, AMD, and Apple, and some future contracts. Jared's going to be watching Amazon, Pins, and AFRM. He's also got ELF, Docs. Oh, Docs is not one we talked about, and PLTR on the list. Avi's got his usual, Magnificent 7 and AMD. Megan's watching Amazon, Pinterest, and Nvidia. I've got my usual 3, and then I'll also be watching Amazon, Pinterest, AFRM, and Microsoft. Mike is sticking with just Amazon, Pins, and Apple. And Thor, he's got a futures brief. That's awesome. I got a couple of IPOs. I'll let you know if and when those things open today. Brendan's going to be watching Nvidia, PLTR, Baba, and Amazon. Brian, Tesla, Nvidia, Meta, OKLO, and Pins. And last but not least, Phil is in with his list in Nvidia, Pins, Tesla, and Amazon. So as you can see, we're all circling around some of the same stuff that have earnings that are in play this morning. So watch what you will. I hope you get some ideas out of that. Make your own list. Whatever you do, just don't bop around. Like, pick something, stick with it, watch it through the open, and you'll either get an opportunity or you won't. If you don't, then so be it. Right? But don't be chasing butterflies. All right, that's my advice for you this morning. Trade smart, everybody. We're getting closer to the open here. We still got a little bit of time. My PC is acting funny, so I'm gonna have to reboot this thing, I think, before the open. But
okay.
It's all right. I've got some time. I can do that.
Yeah. It's pretty early right now. All right, guys. Brian and Thor will be trading live with you guys this morning. So as soon as they hop on here, we'll switch over to them. But yeah, my list right now: Pins, Baba, SMCI, Amazon, and PLTR looking pretty good this morning. I think it should be an amazing open. Let's take a look at the SPY. After the numbers came out this morning, we have not really. Again, we went up and down. We had a little bit of action here, but pretty much flat. I mean, I don't see a whole lot of reaction right now to what the Qs and the SPY has been doing, Peter. Right? It's just pretty quiet for the most part.
Yeah, it has been pretty quiet so far this morning. So that's okay, though, right? Again, these are my best days. I like quiet.
Yeah, yeah.
Quiet,
You do
quiet
mention
entry.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, quiet
You do
pre-market,
love
man.
these
Gives me the
quiet
opportunity. I
days.
can go sing some more Korean drinking songs, maybe.
Yes. Um, all right. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. POTR moving sideways a little bit right now. Baba's looking. I'm sorry, SMCI looking really good. S is pushing up higher here. Baba pushing up as well. Yeah. So I like my list. I noticed I have no secondary stuff on my list today. Nothing on the secondary. So we'll see what comes up as we move forward here. All right. Good morning. I see Thor is on and ready to go. Good morning, my friend. How you doing? Oh, you're on mute, buddy. Yep. Okay, let me see if it's on our end. Let's see. Do we have your mic on? Yeah, we had you off.
There you
There you
go.
go. Good morning.
Just heard you.
Hopefully it's on your end, because my end looks pretty good. And
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of troubleshooting methods over here. Just turning it off and turning it back on is about all I can do.
That's awesome. There we go.
Hey, you know,
All right. Good
Thor,
morning, Brian.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Thor. Thor, I don't often see people that buy the tourist T-shirts from their own city. I got to give you some credit for that. I like that. Why not?
It's
Right?
it's
Promote
super
where you are.
comfy too. Truck stop shirt, right in my own
Yeah.
town. What you gonna do?
Yeah, why not?
Can't
All
beat
right.
that.
If I have some shirts from when I visited Vancouver. I should wear that just to kind of start prepping it and getting ready.
Right on. That would be good.
All right,
So,
guys. We'll let you guys get
jobs
ready and
numbers
get to it. You guys take care. Trade safe. We'll be in chat, and Avi and I will be back at 11. Avi will be a little bit earlier, 10:30, and I'll be back at 11 with you guys and join Avi. So take care, guys. Trade safe,
No.
and we'll see you in chat.
Yeah, trade safe. I'm just hoping, Thor, that you didn't have to buy the shirt because you'd previously bought the truck stop sushi and then threw up all over your other shirt. That wasn't what
It's
happened, right?
it's possible that could have happened. That
Never
actually-
buy
that
the
may-
truck stop sushi, man. Come on. You
That
don't
may
know
be a
that.
thing, but I love it so much,
Is it
and I
just-
thought the wasabi. I thought the wasabi would fix it, but it didn't.
See, it actually
Is it
wasn't
just me, or
wasabi. It
do
was
I-
like furry.
It wasn't wasabi.
It was green furry soy sauce.
Oh,
Is
man,
it
that's
just
funny.
All right.
is it just me, or do I need to grow a beard? Because I'm like the odd man out here.
No. You see, I have no hair, Brian. You see, this is my version of hair. You see,
This is what happens, Brian. As you start losing the hair from the top, you gotta grow the hair from the bottom, and I'm not too far from that. See, it's coming. You can see.
yeah.
it.
See,
Oh,
see.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know
This is
you
how
gotta.
this-
That's how that works. It's a transition, right? You're
Look,
good.
if-
You're good.
If you can grow it long
That's
enough,
good.
Brian, you can just grow it long in the back and pull it around if you want. Do like the little ponytail
Yeah,
on,
there you go.
on your chin thing.
Absolutely.
Mullet time. I could do a mullet. Yeah.
Oh,
All
I
right.
love that.
All right.
Well,
Trade smart, guys.
Let's
Well,
All
I'll do
right.
my best, Peter. Thank you. Oh
Let's
man,
get
good to see
into
you in the
character.
chat room, Kevin. Good to see everyone out there in the YouTube. Everyone in here. Prophet of Prophet, good sir, brother. Good to see you this morning.
Here we go. Good morning, buddy. We're
Just in case everyone was
Friday
confused with my
wrapping
watch
things up.
list, I'll just make sure you can see it here.
Yeah, so like I said, jobs numbers out. They were a little bit weaker, the number, but employment or unemployment down. Wages a little bit on the high side. So overall, kind of didn't really get much of a reaction. And I'm just looking here. 10 o'clock, we do get some wholesale inventory numbers, so there might be a bit of a reaction around 10. We're at some pretty significant support or resistance levels here on the indexes. So it'll be interesting to see if we can break out today. SPY 606 is pretty much is a area of resistance. Next level would be 610. Q's 529 is we're through that. Next resistance level will be about 535. So yeah, interesting. Markets have come right back here.
That's a pretty
You
great
like
hat,
that
Brian.
hat, man.
That's a pretty great hat.
I wasn't
I'm
looking at
living my,
that. That's awesome.
I'm living my best life right now. I'm so sorry. It's Friday, people.
No,
You're just
no
gonna have to,
kidding.
you're just gonna have to roll with me on this
I
one.
gotta,
I
yeah,
I got this
I
from
guess
my
I gotta get
father-in-law
one of
for
those.
Christmas, and I've been dying to use it. So,
Yeah, I gotta get one of those. That's
I'm
awesome.
sorry. All right,
Okay, awesome.
all right. Focus. It's Friday. It's Focus
Let's
Friday.
focus. We gotta get, gotta make some money here. I'm looking for another one and done trade today.
Yeah, that Tesla hit you had yesterday was pretty gorgeous.
Apple.
I'm watching Apple today. It's kind of already in like an interesting, spot to see if it buys. We got the 50 SMA on the daily swooping under us here. We've got we've kind of in a buying range, which is pretty interesting. Could be something worth looking at. But the order book right now is also carrying some larger orders to the top side as well. So I think it could be an opportunity if the market breaks. But Brian was mentioning, we had some news come out already this morning. How did you interpret that news, Brian? Like, what's that mean to you?
Um, well, it's always, I mean, the labor market does seem to be cooling off a little bit, which of course Fed likes to see, but wages still strong, and that's wages typically are a more inflationary um, um, cause, and so it's I think it was a bit of a wash, and I think the markets kind
Mm.
of took it that way.
Yeah, exactly. So it'd be
So,
interesting to
Apple's
see how
dropping
it works out
a
there.
bit.
I have on the calendar, we got some 10 o'clock news that might move things around to where Trading Terminal just has
Yeah,
it
that's the
as uh, like monetary policy, but it's not that. What is it?
it's wholesale inventories and consumer sentiment.
Consumer sentiment. There you go. Consumer sentiment can be a big one. I know that one can be a party.
Yes. Mm, yeah, just looking here. So yeah, just be aware we might get some market reaction just around 10 o'clock. And you know what? I'm gonna set an alarm for 10 o'clock just so that so I'm aware of when this is coming up. Nvidia's in an interesting spot. 129 is kind of an area that's been prior resistance, and it's sort of getting through that right now. I think Nvidia's stock's been benefiting from all the AI talk, the build out that
Mm.
Google was talking about, and on this on their infrastructure, AI infrastructure. So I'm
Yeah,
not.
absolutely. I think that
Yeah,
impacts AMD too. AMD is actually opening in kind of a lower range right now, but I was noticing on AMD, it's 109.08 puts it pretty low near the previous day's low already. Be really interesting to
hmm.
see. I'd like to watch 108.25 to see if we can find a buyer there. If we could, it could actually be there is already a large limit sitting there, but the order book to the top side on AMD looks really lean. So this might not be a good ticker to focus on for long today at all. It actually might be it might counter trend and go down. So that would be really interesting to watch. So, and YouTube, I like that Jonathan Russell personal AMD strategy is short every pop. Fair. It might not be a bad one on
Yeah, yeah.
AMD lately. It's had some rough goes. So we're gonna open
I'm
here in
looking at,
about 35 seconds. Just a reminder to YouTube,
yeah,
slight delay there. Everyone in the chat room and YouTube, good luck today. As Peter says,
absolutely.
trade smart.
I feel like the indexes are like they're like they're at the starting gate, and the horses are like just raring to go here. It looks like
Right.
looks like the Qs and SPY are just like chomping at the bit to go higher. Meta's chomping at the bit to go higher. OKLO, Nvidia, Tesla's maybe bucking the trend here. Here we go. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, 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 party people. I'm watching Apple at the open. Looking for a buyer here to buy. That looks pretty decent. Order book
Tesla's
looking a little
popping.
bullish. All right, let's see here. Watching this thing go. I'm long a little bit of NQ futures. I bought the drop there, and because it looked like it was grabbing liquidity. I also went long Apple. Average cost is like 232.40.
Yeah, I'm long Meta.
Really nice.
It was the one that I really thought was going to take off here.
All right, moment of truth. That was a really fast move on Apple with a little bit less volume than I would have liked to have seen. So, but it was nice. So, but it's a good start. Oh, there goes the Qs popping. All right, that's my target on Qs. Pow. Nice. Or
Well,
NQ future. That was really nice. Cool.
just selling some Meta here at 722. Meta's been up like 10 or 11 days in a row now. Just ripping it.
I don't like that failure there, and the bid came in on Apple, but whatever, we'll hang. All right, I hit target on my futures trade, so that's a really good start to the day. I'm holding on to Apple right now. I don't love that a bid's coming in on it, but I like the buy level on it, so we'll see what happens. But right now the market is still buying premium and it's trying to push, so we're hunting a seller now. So looks like we're long until then.
Long some SPX calls. It looked like, oh, wow, everything's breaking out here. Nvidia breaking out. Just selling some more Meta here. It kind of looks like it's stalling. Ooh, that was a big drop. A little bit of a drop on Apple there. Okay. Meta's in uncharted territory here. It's a all-time high, I believe. So see if we can get a continuation move here. 720. I'll stop out around 720.
I got my eyes on
Yeah, pull
Tesla
back
up here.
there. Yeah, Tesla's been moving up.
All right, Apple's still pushing. Tesla, I'm kind of starting to watch. So this is actually a spot where I like to look for shorts. So far, I'm not seeing. I saw some selling here. So on Tesla, this whole R3 area in a lower range tends to be where I look to find a seller. This is normally like a value pullback. So you'll see here if you look at my daily chart. Hold on, you'll see that right now we've pulled back. Basically, we had this hammer. We're coming right back to this premium area from the previous day, right? So if we're going to find a seller, it'll be right here. So this is why R3 is lining up here. And one of the reasons why we actually don't short R4 on a day like this for Tesla, because if we get too high, we actually we'll get back into this candle and we'll actually start rallying up into it. So a really interesting thing to keep an eye on there. And it looks like we're finding some sellers.
It's coming back here a bit. See if we get some support here.
I went ahead and went, yeah, there we go. Market finding a little bit of a sell here.
Tesla's really has been losing market share. It's kind of interesting. Some of the numbers that have come out recently.
Mm-hmm. It sure has.
So here we're getting to 723 on Meta.
I know it's probably like a slightly uncouth position to have on it, but I think a lot of people just, I think a lot of the times when you're investing in a company, you're not actually investing in a company. You're investing in the ownership, in the direction of it.
True.
And I think a lot of people might, think it's just very scattered attention. So many different things he's dealing with right now, good or bad, not to be argued with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The dude's just busy.
Yeah.
So and although Tesla is like working right now, if he's got that much intent, direction and so many other, things, is he really focused on this one thing? Like, I think if Tesla was his only focus and his only thing he was into every single day, I think people would continue to, load into it. But
Yeah.
so I think that's been hurting it a lot. I think people are just like, yeah, that, and there's a lot of new EV companies out there that are all doing really nice and bringing really cool looking products to the table.
Well,
So,
yeah.
but I
I
can't
think
tell
this is
you,
the
I was in a
this.
Tesla again not that long ago. It's still freaking cool vehicles.
I think this is the issue for Tesla. I think there's a lot of competition out there now. BYD in China is really has overtaken them in terms of sales. So just watching Tesla here to see what it does
Yeah, I
at
never
this
really
level.
thought about how big of a market that was for Tesla as well, and then having that impacting certainly.
I'm gonna sell some more Meta here. It just seems like it's run out of steam. Tesla back up to high of day now.
Oh, sorry, I had myself muted so everyone couldn't hear the Florida summer crickets going on over in my place. Sorry, I'm long currently in Apple. So here you can see my position in DOS. For those of you who are in the BBT room, you can see I'm in here. Oh, maybe it'll show it. Maybe it won't.
Some orders.
Oh, my Stream Deck
378
isn't working. Great.
and 380 on Tesla. SPY coming back up.
We definitely have found a seller on the SPY. I wouldn't say we're selling, but we have found a seller that is here that is fairly prevalent. Yeah. But so far, we still seem to be buying. There we go. Now you can see it. See, I don't like how we're getting up to here and hitting a seller right here either. But I went ahead and I'm going to try and roll a little short on Tesla, I think, up here. This liquidity, this sell side sweep it just did, and then the sell it hit after already selling from here a couple of times. It's pretty nice looking. The order book also is coming off a bit bearish to me. So I'm thinking this might be a good spot. So moment of truth right here on it. We're offering the bid discount right now. If a buyer doesn't step in here, it should flush down a titch. We have a really decent value gap between 372 and 374. So we should move from 374 to 372 in like a heartbeat. Alejo, so I understand that Andrew and Brian do that. I will not do that. So, but I appreciate you. I actually had a time when I called one of my trades live. Someone else copy traded me or mirror traded me, and then proceeded to blow up all over the internet and Bearable Traders and emails to Andrew and all this stuff about how I cost them their whole bank account, blah, 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 and all that stuff. And I was like, you know what? I want to teach people how to trade, not tell them when to enter trades. So I will never call my trades out for anybody. So I want you to know how to take trades. If you don't know when you need to enter your trade, you should not be trading yet. You should be in simulator and preparing yourself. But you don't need me to call them. You need to know when to get in and out of your own trades. But I will tell you, as I have so far, I tell you when I'm interested in them, when I'm looking at them, what level it is, what I would do with it, and what I'd like to do with it. And then I'll leave it to you to decide if you want to push a button or
not. There you go.
Much love.
Yeah, we're very much community that's trying to teach and train people how to trade.
Also, too, not for nothing, I don't want to scare you if I'm wrong, right? Like, let's say, like, sometimes Brian and I are trading, he's reading it as a long, and I'm seeing it in a short positioning, and we both end up being right by the time it's done. But if I was going, hey, I'm going to go, I only want to short here, Brian might not take a momentum trade that isn't respondent to the ranges I like to look at, right? So I don't want to keep other people who are trading contrary styles to me out of trades by announcing mine as well. Andrew does that to me all the time, actually. Freaks me out. I'm getting long. All of a sudden, Andrew's like, I'm going short. I'm like, oh, I'm like, no, don't do it. It's scaring me.
Yeah. Hey,
I've had a
I'm
couple of
out
those
of
good.
I'm out of the rest of Meta. Just Meta's had this thing about popping up and then selling off during the day, so I'm going to get out of the rest of it here.
Tesla's still all up in this cellar here.
I'm
They found
short
a buyer
Tesla with you.
off of 374.50-ish. They found a buyer,
Yeah,
but it was a
this
really weak buy.
yeah, it's this 374 level. It's continuing to hold up here. It's kind of a bunch of moving averages. We did come down to
Yeah.
PDC
We
almost.
got
Yeah,
PDC
we-
pre-market high, VWAP,
yeah,
20 EMA. We got a lot to
yeah,
get through here.
yeah. It's all there. Yeah, it's there. All there's a whole bunch of levels there. Yeah. Having said that, if we lose those levels, it'll really
Hmm.
should really flush down here.
What's important here is if we start rallying towards the high, that we don't get a lot of volume on the buy. If there's a lot of volume on the buy, that's going to make it look pretty rough. So we'll see this moment right here. Actually, they're starting to buy premium right now. So depending on how much they buy, depends on what. That was a pretty solid buy. Look at that. See how they drive the price up like that? Hold on. Let me put it up on Tesla. Look at that. Look how they drove that right to R3. Now our seller should be right here. So now we can watch our tape or watch your heat map, whatever you like to use, and see if that seller hits again. There they are.
Yeah,
See them hit right there? So that's right where our seller should be. The question is now, but that order book's actually looking pretty bullish now. I think they might buy this out. We'll see. This is where that seller's got to hold up here. If it goes any higher than that, no bueno for that. Still holding this Apple position.
yeah. Look at that. Meta did pop up 724.
So on YouTube, there's a question about R4.
And
So it's in a higher range, I would play R4, but Tesla's actually in a lower range to me today. So what that means is if we get up into R4, we're getting too high, right? So
mm,
what happens is folks who had been selling for the past couple of days, see, we're making highs above yesterday's high. Most tickers, when they break the previous day's high, like for instance, I don't know if you guys have used this fun little, I haven't used it for a couple of days, but hold on, let me pull it up here. I'll show you guys what I'm going to talk about here. YouTube, you won't be able to actually see it, I don't think, but in the chat room, one of the benefits to being in the chat room is you get to see everything. Let's see here. Watch this. Come on. I didn't know we were doing this.
so flat right now, I stopped out of this Tesla trade. That didn't work out. So now I'm just looking for some trading opportunities here. The SPY particularly is strong. This 380 level on Tesla looks like could go there.
Oh, wow. New dashboard. Looks cool. That's why. All right. So, the report I was looking for is it's high of day break. Let me find if I can. Dang, they changed the. I run some reports through this new reporting system I have, but they actually changed like their whole layout. So now I don't know where anything's at. That's silly.
There's your 380 on Tesla. It's really breaking out here. Nvidia's Q's bounced off VWAP nicely. Wow. SPY just continues to push higher here. Well, got the direction of Tesla wrong today.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to, the order book's still a little, that's why it's good to stay into that market structure. It was in the right spot for a sell, and it looked like it could, but the order structure was still just a little bit bullish on it. So you could kind of see they still wanted to buy on it, unfortunately. It was a good spot. Man, I lost my my report. I'll find it. Oh. All right, we are in a fun spot now. All right, the Qs are getting into a selling spot that's really normally pretty important. I'm going to hang for a second. I was looking for a report I wanted to show y'all, but I couldn't find that right now. So I'm going to get back to the trading. So QQQ and related tickers, they've all kind of popped up. We're all up into the selling range, basically. So QQQ monthly R3 for our cams is at like 531, right? So we've made it, right? So this is normally where our selling range really starts to kick in. We've made it all the way to R4. So if we go higher than this, we're basically going to need to commit to a breakout today. So kind of keep that in mind as we're watching. And right now we're kind of hunting for a seller on the, and seeing if we can find someone that's going to come in and start selling, but be patient, because right now we're just kind of struggling up here. We're not really like selling. You know what I mean? And that's a big difference. You don't want to just start shorting because we're at a high point, right? You want to look for evidence of selling and then sell once we start selling.
Nvidia's at 130 now. Yeah, there's still no real evidence that the market's willing to sell off here yet. Qs. SPY still sitting right at R4.
Definitely struggling. Hey, have a good one, Mark. All right, so I went ahead and pulled my Apple to break even. The reason being is the stop distance that I had on my original entry was actually a little bit wider than I would have wanted, which caused me to go for a pretty wide target, like all the way by R4. If this comes down and stops me out, and then the market looks like it's going to continue bouncing, I may re-enter on it. But since it's too wide and it's been non-performing for such a long time, I'm going to be okay with letting this one pull off, and then we'll see where it's at. Otherwise, I'm kind of watching the Qs now, and in Q up here in this area to see if the SPY or the Qs find the seller I'm hunting for up here. If we do, I'll do something based upon that. One of the things to kind of remind you of as a stock trader, being a stock trader is kind of a lot like fishing. You know what I mean? You're looking for and hunting for something, and then you respond to what you find. When stock traders tend to go wrong is when you start just basically just going after it. When you just start taking trades, shooting trades, but you haven't found what you're looking for. You're just anticipating, right? And that's so taking the time to actually wait and look for, if you want a short, wait to see selling, make sure it's a big sell, and make sure it's something that really looks good. So before you start getting into, otherwise it's probably just going to keep doing what it's been doing. Selling off of that R4 level again. Really nice. See right here. See how we found a seller at R4, retested seller, selling. See, we're starting to look like we found ourselves a seller here on the Qs. Just wish we had more volume. I wouldn't, NVIDIA could be a long over there, water. But with the market so extended right now, I would probably wait to see if the market actually breaks out or if it actually rejects. It's unlikely that NVIDIA will go into a lasting rally while the market is selling off, because NVIDIA's, what would you say? NVIDIA's personal clout or whatever doesn't pull. It's meme stattery. There's a seller, Qs, bam. So that was definitely a seller hitting
look
there.
at that. Right through the view app, down to the 9 EMA.
When I'm talking about R4 out there, so I use Camarilla pivot points. That's what you would want to research. So basically, it more or less uses like a Fibonacci style pivot that isolates where I expect to find sellers and buyers, and it's just based on the previous day's highs and lows. It's nothing too complicated, but it works really nice.
We're coming up on 10 o'clock. So just be aware that could be some news coming out here. Qs are, I don't know what's going on. The Qs have really pulled back here. It's dropped through the
So very,
9
very big
EMA.
level. So on my screen, for anyone in BBT, this is our monthly R3, which marks kind of where we would look for a seller on the month, paired with where we would look for a seller on the day. So it's hold on, let me pull up ES. You'll see it on NQ, really nice. Hold on, right here.
Wow, we've gone through the 20 EMA.
Right here, look at that wick, bam. I told you we were hunting for this is where we're going to find a seller.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice, Mighty Mouse. 60% on QQQ puts. Get some.
Nice. Love the options for return on investment. Okay, we're lightening up on this book a bit here on the SPY. 2 more minutes till we get some news here. Probably going to bounce here a bit after this pullback.
Yeah, we just that was some really nice selling. That was what we were looking for. That could be the start of a bit of a we might be transitioning back down to a buyer. That's pretty good selling. We've almost given back almost all of the morning in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we came very close on the Qs. SPY has been a little bit stronger.
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Smith in the Bear Bull Traders Room, funded account day one, total 1,145. You get that Andrew's money.
Mm-hmm.
So I went ahead and got short on the Qs. I'm just running a stop above high of day right now. So I'm in from that consolidatory period. I need to move down to about 528, not even pre-market low, to get to a target. So that should be pretty nice if that works out.
Wow.
Since my
Damn. OKLO. OKLO had a big run today. I don't know if anybody caught that one. All right, here we go with the numbers in about 15 seconds.
oh yeah, we got those numbers coming out.
See what kind of market reaction you get. Look at how the book really emptied out
Ding,
here.
ding, ding,
You can
ding.
see I'm showing the SPY on Bookmap. You can
Boom!
see how we really
Boom!
empty.
Yeah,
Wow.
there we
Boom,
go.
boom.
Filled. QQQs filled in a heartbeat. Yeah, baby.
Shite.
You look at that fill. Boom. Yes, sir. You got those puts going, Mighty? That's
Wow,
what we're
that
talking
was
about.
something else.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah. Come on now.
What a move. Well, we warned you.
That was a
This
full
was going to
target
be.
move. Beautiful. Yes. Okay. That's cool. Loves it. Oh man, I also had I'm not gonna lie, I also had myself a sweet little short going on NQ as well. So for those of you who trade futures,
Nice.
I went short in that. I got long in the morning, so I ran it from S3 in the pre-market all the way up near R3 for a target. And then when we hit R4, look at the wick at R4, and then retested, pulled back. I went short through my stop right above R4. Actually, only risked about $130 and on it, and you can see, and I made about 850 on the position. So really nice.
Jeez. That was insane. And you can look at Bookmap. You can see how right before 6 this news came out. You can see how they all the institutions pulled their orders down. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't. They weren't. So they just emptied out their books. And yeah, it looks like Q's inspire. Wow.
Brilliant.
Yeah, amazing. Jeez, it's crazy.
Yes, I'm done. That's my week right there. I will not be, that will be my trades right there. Ended up hitting QQQs and then 2 futures trades. That's pretty nice. That'll do. That's a 12-hour day for me.
And unfortunately,
Oh,
I
I'm so
wasn't holding
happy.
anything short. Yeah, I wasn't holding anything short through that drop. That was sweet.
Oh man.
But we'll celebrate. We'll celebrate Thor's win there. That was a good trade
Yeah, we'll take
to be
it. We'll
short the
take it.
NQs. Man, that was a yeah.
The real baller is Mighty Mouse in our room here. He's up. He went up 210% on QQQ puts after the call and was holding NQ contracts
Yeah.
short. So Mighty Mouse just
Well,
made his month.
if you'd have been, short SPX, wow,
Yeah.
that would have been a baller trade too. But again, just real risk because it could have gone either way.
Mm-hmm. No, it was a good. Now look at so back on my daily chart on NQ. Actually, I'll do QQQ because everyone will look at that R3 level I was talking about. So look how this pairs up. We have, oh, hold on, let me get my Epic up. for in the room. Just check out how perfectly this spot comes together. If my pin ever decides to start itself, there it is. So check this out. We have R3 on the month. It's a higher range, so our preferred play, right? We have the R4 extreme reversal, right? We have the interaction to R4. So we have the just awesome combination of basically everything in the same way. And we had found and we're observing a seller that we had found at that level. So that's why I got short right up in here. And then sure enough, with the help of the news, just in it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. We got a lot of people crushing the QQQ today. Good stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you. Over $1,250 on QQQ. Good for you. So Brian,
Just some
I'm
worries.
happy to show in YouTube. It's a right now you're seeing Carlos's screen, and every now and again, maybe as a perk, we can work out kind of flipping in and back. But one of the reasons you want to be in the main room is because I'm sharing my screen in here, Brian's sharing his screen into the room. So which is, that's kind of the bonus that our that our peeps that are in here kind of get, is being able to see him all the time. But I'm sure I'll talk with Carlos a little bit, and maybe we can come up with some sweet incentives. Maybe some he threw it up for you anyway. So nice. But I was thinking maybe some sweet based incentives or something like that. But, I'll take it. So real quick while we're looking at it. So here's the spot we're talking about. So if you can see here on QQQ, right? I like to short, and we're in a lower range on the month. So R3 is the appropriate shorting lane area for me to look for a seller. And then today, because we're in a higher range, my preferred cam play would be an R4 extreme reversal, right? So I have R4. Look at the wick and the response to R4. Look how session high is sitting right at R4. So I could go short here with my stopper right above that session high. Really, really nice trade put together, all combined there. So everything kind of all coming together. This is kind of like Peter's Mountain Pass yesterday, Brian. That mountain pass that he was talking about, they was showing. It was just like if there was a beautiful example of like everything for an example of his trading kind of coming together, that's what Q's just did for me here. It was just, this is a perfect storm as far as my strategy set goes. So, which is nice. I'll admit I had a fairly slow start to the month, and now I've had a couple of back-to-back days, and I'm back over my my monthly projection right now just in a couple of days. So loving it.
Did a short there on that pop. Just did a bit of a short on SPX on that pop up.
That's right, Brian. Get that money.
Still, the book's still looking a little bearish. I think I'm gonna cover it here. Yep. Gonna get a move back up maybe now. There's always seems to be buyers here in this market. You just got to find the level where they're going to step in. Do we get a sense of what those numbers were, Carlos? Do we know what consumer sentiment in the wholesale inventory numbers were? They obviously market didn't like them very much.
Let's see. 10 a.m. Financial Juice did a big blurt all at the same time. It included some deportation stuff. Expectations, prelim, actual 67.3, forecast 70, previous 69. So a little under. Wholesale month over month, actual 1%, forecast 0.5. So that's a little up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Stronger.
we in a selling spot. We selling.
Figure out what the SPY is going to do here. We're sitting at a sort of a low of a pre-market low here that was sort of support, and now has become resistance.
Yeah, on the Qs, just reading the VPA on this, the sell was strong. When that news came in, that was very strong sell, and as
Yeah.
we've pulled back,
Yeah.
the buying was very weak. So right now, we might have found our short-term top of a couple of days. That perfect wick to R3 can't be ignored. That might be our swing high for the next few days. Jared is saying should be resisting bounce. Ideally, we move to Friday 60-40. Yeah, I'm with you. So we'd be getting down to that's right about where ATR low is today as well, Jared. If we get down into that like 60-40 area, that's back through the fair value. So check it on my daily chart for those in the BBT room. Look like if you're looking here, notice right here on the high of this day here, and I don't have dates on here. I can't see them. I have to pull this up a little bit. I'll try and fix that so I can see the dates. But anyway, 17th. Oh, sorry. 17th. You can see we had this high here, and then we had a gap day, and then you see we settled here. So it created this value area between the two of those, which was right around 60-70. So you can see right where we're almost coming back to right now, right as we reject and come back down. It's this really nice big value area sitting right here. So I'm right on board with Jared. I think this could easily end up right down at this 60-50 to 60, and then bounce back
I'm
up to
short the
close
SPY
here.
again. I'm short the SPY again here, SPX. Here we go. There's a nice move on this. Ooh, that's low of day right there. I'm going to cover some.
There it
There's an
goes.
order right here. 660, 6,000, 604, 604. Just covered some more. Ooh,
Look
look
at
at the
that, and just
Qs.
a
Qs are down at the Qs are down at yesterday's low right now. Should bounce here.
when you look at the daily chart in hindsight, even now, like if you look back starting here, you can see if you draw a box here, look what happens anytime we get in this range on the Qs, right? We start crushing sellers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think I was going to hit it. I also shorted ES at R4.
Wow. Here we go.
So I've just been holding it this whole time because I only ran 4 contracts. I didn't think it'd be enough for a full target. I'd have to run R4 all the way to S4, which I did. Full R3 to S4. What a day.
No kidding, eh?
Yeah, this was a really good day for me. We're sitting what 16 R something like that now today. So $200 an R. So it's a good day. A little over 3 Gs today. Actually, I bet that's my best day of the year. so far. And only 250 likes. I'm going to go get lobster today. And I've only got 250 likes up in here. Yeah, I trade full time. It's my only occupation. I've been a full-time trader for over half a decade now. As my primary source of income. I would say only, but I do trade mentoring and I sell books and stuff. So obviously it's not my only, but
Took a bit of a long now on the SPY. Flip my position. Here we go. Just I'm not here for a long time, just a good time. And this is where the good times end, right around here.
let the good times end.
Just out of that. Expecting a bit of a bounce there. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this was just a bounce off S4 on SPY. For a real bottom, we'd come back and sort of test that level. We'd do a pullback, retest that level, or at least retest and make a higher low, and then you'd know that the bottom was in. To me, this could be just a bounce. See, now we're pulling back again. It's interesting. They pulled those orders. There were some orders around 603.50, and they've pulled those orders. They've taken them off the book. So how do you read that, Thor?
Right
Maybe he's
now,
not there now.
right now I'm here. Right now, for me, things are still looking pretty weak. As we found buyers, the buying response has been truncated and lacking volume. So I think the buyers that are involved are a little shell shocked from the news, and I'm still leaning towards Jared's analysis. What he was saying, I think we can still end up at around 60-50 before we find a bounce. ATR low would be like for SPY, for instance. ATR low would be at like 601.
See, we're retesting the low day on the SPY now. So this is do or die, really, for the SPY. It needs to bounce, needs to find a buyer here. Otherwise, another leg lower. Yeah, that drop was incredible.
Yeah, that was just great. So, on YouTube, James, so what you're going to find, right, is there are certain folks, and I don't know if it's just it's a personality thing. You know what I mean? It kind of comes with like your risk aversion kind of comes into place here, and some other things. I kind of consider this to be like not everyone like can be a race car driver, right? Some people are better at being mechanics. You know what I mean? So when I kind of trade the market, I kind of, you'll notice with like, especially guys like, Jared and myself, Jared does engineering the markets in the morning, mechanics, right? So, we kind of look at it from, where we're expecting to see a seller, and then we look for a seller because that's where it's sold. Andrew's more a true-blooded like momentum trader. So he's more of a race car driver, right? Like he knows how the car works. He could probably fix it if he needed to, right? But for the most part, right, he's going to feel he's going to be more intuitive in his positioning because he's going to go more by feel because it's momentum based. He's going to use moving averages more so than just key levels. So, but you can see both avenues will get someone to the pay. It just you just got to kind of focus on what, for me personally, I was not able to do that. I jokingly say maybe just a lack of talent, right? I'm just like, I don't know if I can pull that off, right? It kind of scares me. So that's why I ended up going into this style. It takes a little bit longer. It's, maybe you're not hitting it every single day big, but when you hit it, it hits very consistently, and it'll keep you in the game for a really long time. I've been doing this for over half a decade now. I might not make the most money, but I'm an incredibly consistent trader and consistently make profit, every single month, enough to get it done. You know what I'm saying? Brian, good spot on that bounce point though. It really did hit right
Yeah.
off of there for you.
Yeah. I just bought a little SPX again to the long side now.
Robin, it's not available on TradingView yet. We've gotten it coded into Ninja and we've gotten it coded into Toss, but I'm doing it myself. So it's my own development, either coding or, I have a few buddies and, that are helping me out with it. So we're getting to it as quickly as we can, but we do have all the major platforms are on my radar. I'd like everyone to be able to use the system. So yeah, I'm working on it. So just kind of, stay, keep checking in, and as soon as I can get it there, I'll let you know.
Back down again. You're right. So, basically sellers are just kind of shell shocked. I think it's just like,
Yeah.
or buyers should say.
Yeah, we bought yesterday around on SPY around that 602 area. So, and I mean that's going to be, and we bought through, that was a premium area from a couple days prior. So if we're going to find a buyer, it's going to be right around 602.50. So if we're going to find one, which today I'm not necessarily convinced we will, we may just end up chopping out the low end of this range today and calling it a Friday. So we'll see what happens. Robert, yeah, you can have access to it for Ninja. You can download it. It's just a zip file. You just import it in as as an indicator. Shoot me an email, Thor@bearbulltraders.com, and I'll send you the link to get it. But you have to promise me that if you use it and it makes you a lot of money, you have to sign up for Bear Bull Traders and come thank me in the room.
Man, Uber is wow. Uber is rocking it again today.
Dash was asking, was it the non-farm payroll that caused the sell-off? Kind of,
No.
right? Kind of. I mean, it was the timing of it that, but it, we happened to be right at R3 on the month, right at R4 on the intra-daily, right at 10 o'clock, right for the news to come out. This is really more of just a smart money manipulation. The book gets really lean prior to these things. And when the information came out, there was enough in there, and, we're right in the selling range where sellers are going to be motivated to sell. So they're just waiting for news. Right? It really doesn't matter what the news is or really even how it came out. At least that's my experience, right, Brian? Like, does it even really matter what they say?
Yeah.
I don't know if it does.
Yeah.
I just watch the market sentiment afterwards. Like, all right, the news is out. What's happening? Okay, it's selling. You know what I mean? So obviously that's what we're doing today. So, and I try not to get too complicated otherwise. And Brian, how are you shorting and longing SPX? Are you using put call spreads? Life Observer was asking over YouTube.
I'm just using puts and calls, basically. Just pretty simple.
So Jennifer, if you have time at 11, we can talk to you. We can talk about insider like information and like smart money concepts and some of that kind of stuff. I can run you through that it'll kind of give you more of an overbrief of what's going on. It's probably a little too verbose and snoozifying for the YouTube. But if you come by at 11, we could easily burn 10 or 15 minutes boring everybody with some nice market dynamics. Yeah, of course.
All right, so we have found a bottom here. It looks like SPY. I'm looking at the View app right now, 605 as an area we could go to. That's a prior high as well on this pullback, 550-ish.
I'm on in the BB in YouTube was asking in Bearable Traders. I do a 1 hour session every single day, Monday through Friday from 11 to noon, where you can ask AMA the whole time. It's a lot of fun. And then I'm Andrew's what do you call it? A backup hitter. So generically, anytime Andrew goes and climbs a mountain somewhere, I get to hang out with the prophet of profit and make money. I make more money when I trade with Brian than I do trading with anybody else. I'm not really sure why that is. I think he's like my spirit animal or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who
It's
knows?
just anytime I'm hanging out around this guy, I just get in the zone and I start firing trades and it works. So I'm not sure what that is, but
yeah, we're always making money together. Just
I don't know. It just happens. I just don't know. We've been saying it for like 2 years. I thought it would be a joke, but it's not. So yeah, no, it really is. But you guys have to understand too, I think it's something, to be honest, I think there's something comforting about trading with Brian in a way, because he's had so much time in the market. He's evidence that you can stay exposed to the market for a long time and keep making money doing it, keep having fun doing it. And all of those things. I really think if there's anybody I like kind of, you almost say you want to be when you grow up. But if there's like almost anybody I just kind of like idolize in this trading game, actually, for me, it's actually Brian. Not, Sunshine now, because then I'm going to leave in a minute. But, because he just kind of gives me like, I really think if you're aspiring to be something in this trading world, it's the attitude you got to have. He's got, when he loses, it doesn't seem like it really busts him up too much. When he wins, he has a good time. And then, and he just shows you after time, after time, after time, you can just keep doing this as long as you don't do anything too stupid.
Yeah, as long as you keep your capital. That's what we always say. Most primary priority. Don't if you don't have capital, you can't trade.
Facts.
Look at the Tesla's trying to bust
I
out
wouldn't say
here.
Andrew makes me lose money. I actually really don't trade with Andrew very often, since I'm, I'm normally covering for Andrew when he's not here. But Andrew and I do trade against each other way more often than I would like, because Andrew's doing momentum. So he'll go long, take advantage of like a 50-cent move. I've got a 50-cent stop on a short I'm in. You know what I mean? So I'm just sitting there while he's going along going, oh, don't stop me out. You know what I mean? It's it can be a challenge. But Brian and I, we read the book very much the same way. And we read volume very much the same way. So generically, if he's going long and I'm not long, it's probably in a spot where I don't want to be long. So I let Brian make money. And then as soon as Brian starts going, yeah, I think I'm done with this position, and he starts cutting it, that's probably right about when I'm getting short. And then, then I'll make it on the way back down. So, but yeah, it's kind of cool. But yeah.
There you go.
Brian is the best. Likes for Brian, YouTube.
There you go. Let's give us likes for both of us here. Because Thor is this is the great thing about Bearable Traders, because you learn from other people. It's like this is a sort of a business that you have to be always on guard. Markets change. There's new ideas for trading, and you always got to be prepared to shift, change, learn, continue to learn. That's probably one of the most important things to become one of the most important things to become a successful trader. Always be open to learning new tricks. new ideas, always watching the market, looking for shifts in where the money's going. Um, what's hot, what's not, can also be a big impact too. So it's all good.
All good. Sweet, brother. Well, I think the YouTube's loving the
Yeah.
edutainment. I hope you guys, I'm going to be here next week because Andrew's getting his climb on. So if you guys are loving this repartee between me and the Prophet of Profit, please, come on by next week and hang out. If you guys want this to be a part of your everyday life, come by BBT and check us out. They got some promos and stuff for you. But otherwise, I'm going to get
Yeah.
out of here. I'm sure we have someone else that'll pop on with the Prophet, and then we'll go YouTube at 11, I think. But brother, just
Right.
awesome trading day with you as usual. We do what we do. So yeah, man,
Hey, man.
I'm going to get out of here. But
Great to trade with you.
thanks for the fun trades.
Have a good weekend there, buddy.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous. You're probably going out in a t-shirt, and I'm going to be putting on a parka.
Yeah, t-shirt, lobster and a t-shirt. That's what we're doing here in a few
Yeah.
minutes. Actually, we're going to go do this.
Yeah, and I'm going to be
All right, brother.
parka and a snow cone or a hot chocolate anyway. Yeah, Jay.
Also,
Yeah, Jay. Yeah,
enjoy that.
yeah, yeah. Jay and YouTube. Yeah, no. Overconfidence is a real killer. I mean, some of my worst trades have come after some really good trades, and I kind of put half of that down to, yeah, you start to feel like you're invincible, or you've got it all figured out, and you're going to slay the market, and yeah. So overconfidence is something you can never be confident. Um, can never be confident. You've got to be confident in your trades, but you always have to be cautious at the same time. Hey, Avi,
Hey Brian, how you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Good, good, good. A little more excitement today than most other days for me, but yeah,
More
great point.
excitement.
Overconfidence. I have the same experience, Some of my biggest blowups have been after a couple of good, solid green days, and you think you know what you're doing,
Yeah,
and then market will humble you very quickly.
yeah.
So,
You think you've got it. You got it all figured out,
yeah.
and yeah, that's a dangerous headspace to be in for a trader.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Cool, cool.
you'll never have it completely figured out. All you can do is make your best assumption. Um, take your trades, and if the market proves you wrong, be prepared to admit you were wrong and get out. Ooh,
Absolutely.
ooh.
What happened to you?
I'm just looking. I've got this penny stock trade that I've talked about. I think I've mentioned in the past. It's a graphene trade. It's uh, it's inching its way up here. I've got because it's a penny stock. It's not really a penny. It's a 32 cent Canadian stock, but I'm in at 12 cents, and it's moving up here, and I've got about 100,000 shares. So it's a little bit of a Hail Mary when you're dealing with penny stocks, but I like the story on this thing. So it's got a good story.
Got a good story. All right, buy the story, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice. Yeah, here in YouTube we got someone called new user. Why am
No,
I
I know,
always
Jay.
smiling? Because I'm here. I'm talking to you guys on YouTube. That's why I'm smiling. Is that okay with you? Good evening, guys. Funny. Hey,
Abby,
Sid.
if you've been with Abby, people that we were, last time we were together was in Colombia. I will tell you, Abby is always smiling. Every time you look at him, he smiles. So there you go. It's just in his nature.
There you go. Thank you.
Great guy, great guy to hang around with. Great guy to have to party with.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun down there in Colombia.
We
And
we
yeah,
had a lot of fun. So we will be doing another PBT. I don't know what you want to call it, adventure or something like that.
Yep. Let's see, some point this year,
later this
ideally.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, later this year, I think we're gonna maybe do another partay. Traveling, trading, um, having fun together.
What a
Quite a
blast.
number of our traders joined us in Colombia, and the moderators. A lot of the moderators went, um,
Mhm.
and
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
know I know Carlos wanted to go, but he's young family, hard to get away. But for the people that did make it, it was a lot of fun. Some
Mhm.
trading.
Yeah, especially when you got
So
Paras around his dancing shoes in
oh
any
yeah,
environment. I love
yeah,
that. I didn't see that coming,
yeah.
really.
Paris,
That was so much
yeah, Paris is fun too.
every time. Oh man. That was cool. We traveled around a bit, which was interesting. Go see a bit of the country. We had some excellent tours, some of the tourist stuff, and then really, dig into some of the we went on that boat to that island, stuff like that. It was really, really
Yeah,
interesting. You get to know everyone beyond the screens and the charts. It's a much more intimate thing,
yeah,
especially when you spend some amount of time together. Like we were there for about a week, and then we went to the Amazon. A few of us went. So, if it's just a 2-day thing, well, yeah, you get to know each other, but you kind of get much more intimate when it goes on for longer. And that's kind of when the magic starts to happen. You really get to know, you know, behind the screens. And it's fun. It's great because
yeah,
we spent so much time together every single day we're here, but finally making it real,
yeah.
So the human element. Gotta love that.
So I think we're kind of chatting because the market's kind of gotten a little bit. I'm not seeing anything that I really want to trade. Although SPY does look like it wants to. There seems to be some buying going on here. It does look like it wants to move up. The only thing is, it's still below the VWAP, and it's already rejected there once. The Qs have managed actually to get it back above the VWAP. So right now we're just dealing with moving averages. The 9 EMA still below there, although we are starting to flatten out on that average. NVIDIA came back nicely. So maybe we're going to get a move back up here.
Interesting. Yeah, we're getting something. I took a long on Tesla just before coming on the mic, and so holding that again, one of my
Okay.
traits I like. It's slow grinding. It's already been in it for 10 minutes, and stop is basically below the wicks of these big candles, looking to just ride it up for the day. And the same idea
You
on
did
Meta.
yeah, you did a nice trade on Tesla yesterday, a reversal, I think.
Yeah, yeah, that one worked out quite nicely. Again, it's been a very uneventful week for me this trading week, but yeah, yesterday I caught Tesla off the bottom. Well, I saw the bottom. I caught the momentum candle, the big one at 11:45, and I had to exit it when the momentum was gone because my entry was no good. But otherwise, I mean, if it just kind of held on without looking at it, if I actually stuck to my rules, would have been, 20 times as big. But
Yeah,
that's how trading goes. That one worked. Let's see.
yeah,
We have the same kind of situation today, reversal here, and I'm doing the same on Meta at the moment. I'm in two long positions. Took Meta off of the bottom, well, off the double bottom,
yeah.
new 5 minute
That
highs
was a
initially,
nice,
and
nice. Again, you want to look for if you're looking for a reversal. It's always a little dicey. V reversals are rare. It's usually a reversal is a pop and then a retest of a low, and then holding that low or making a higher low is another good indication here. But NVIDIA is looking like it's got some orders at 130, 131. So
Mhm,
NVIDIA would have been a great time to jump back in there on that sell off.
mhm. This is interesting. Earlier on Nvidia, it got up to 130 and got stuck over there for a while. And I was trading live with my mentees, and one of them said
Yeah,
that it's a call wall up there. That's not something I've really explored before. The idea is that there's a lot of open interest on calls, and so looking
right,
at the options chain, figured it gets there and it just gets stuck there until all the liquidation is complete, and then it moves away up or down from there. So that's interesting. It's kind of like looking at liquidity on the order book, but you're looking at open interest in the options world, and you kind of can get
right.
that similar information. So we just kind of went through that this morning with my mentees. That was fun. So yeah.
Yeah, certainly where there's a lot of open interest, especially on days where, you know, this is probably this would be an expiry day for the weeklies. So a little bit of market, you know, the big market makers maybe manipulating a little bit.
Mhm. Oh yes, they love to do that, don't
They've
they?
got, if, you know, if they've sold a lot of 130, they've sold a lot of 130 calls up there, then, you know, they've got to, you know, they got to make sure their positions are hedged accordingly.
Mhm. Yeah, that was interesting. And we had that chat with the guys from Spot Gamma a couple days ago, and they
Yeah,
were
yeah,
describing to us how, the activity in the options is what can determine stock price or the price of the underlying and the movement. In my mind, it was always the other way around. So really interesting to look at the market from that perspective, and it makes a lot of sense. They got these big options players, they got to hedge their positions. They're going to be forced to buy or sell stocks. So something's going to happen at that level, things like that.
yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah, it's always a lot to learn.
So I
Listen, guys,
say,
this is
you know,
yeah.
you got to be,
Uh,
you really got to be always looking to learn, always looking to see what other people are doing, how they're trading, their styles. You can always learn from other traders. It's a great thing about our community, obviously.
yeah, that's fantastic. Gotta love that.
Yeah, I started trading these SPX calls and puts because of Sean.
Yeah,
Sean kind of turned me on to that idea.
that's brilliant. Yeah, Sean's incredibly detailed with his analysis and the way he looks at
Yeah,
things. So again, a lot to learn. And SPX, man, that's that's some wild stuff. I've made 2 attempts at the
yeah.
SPX in the last 12 months, and no, 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 not yet. I'm quite satisfied with options, but
You really, yeah, you've really got to be pretty confident about the move that it is about to happen.
yeah, yep. Timing on zero
Because
DTE as well. I mean, yeah,
yeah.
good stuff.
So let's
So
see
guys, yeah,
where.
we have Brian was mentioning earlier, guys, about you don't just take V reversals. You want to see the buyers truly stepping it up. You can see here on AMD, it's a decent example. Made a low. You don't just go long when you see it push up, but you see the next time later on, a few minutes later or a few candles later, made a new low. This is giving an indication that the buyers are there and they're stepping up their bids, and then you can have confirmation such as a new 5-minute high for an entry, and that's off it goes. This is not an ideal double bottom, but that's the idea. You want to make sure you're getting confirmation of your trades. The buyers are there and they're stepping it up. So patience, and that's how you would increase your win rate. So that's how I trade these ones anyway. Mikhail, my target on Tesla is the high of the day, about 380, around about there. 377 is an approximate intermediate target. Let's see how it goes. 380, I think, is the big one. But let's see. I mean, it could go nowhere. You never know what's going to happen. In trading, all you can do is, I think there's two things. I tell this to my mentees all the time. There's things you can control and things you cannot control. The thing about day trading or interacting with the markets, it's that 95% of things are things you cannot control. What are those few things you can control is, well, patience, waiting for your setup, and then managing the trade well. There's basically two things you can control. Other than that, as in what happens after you get in on a perfect setup is none of your business, as in it's not in your hands. It can go in your favor, it can stop you out, it can mess with you, it can do whatever. You don't know. So just think about what you can control, which is, well, patience and waiting for your setup, putting on the right size, and then managing it the right way. The rest of it, everyone gets all flustered about, the trade's got to go, it has to go, it will go, it's a perfect setup. No, it's none of your business really what happens after you enter. All you can do is watch it. And I prefer not to watch it actually. So there you go.
Mhm.
Look at these things go.
Well, PLTR is up another $3 today.
Oof. Man, what is with this thing, huh?
Man, yeah.
Oof.
Oklo was kind of fell. I was going to watch it, and it kind of fell off my radar. That was a really nice opening range breakout trade.
Nice. Yeah, look at that. Really ran all the way.
Yeah, crazy.
What did you trade today, Brian? I didn't get to ask you.
Tesla, and then I've been trading some SPX calls and puts, sort of jumping in and out of them because the market's been so choppy.
Yeah. Cool.
So just picking levels like on SPX, SPY came right down to this S4 level, and you can see that's where it bounced off of.
Mhm. What is S4 for you? Is it 604?
It's just under 604. It's 604, 603.90, and that's basically on the SPY where we we found support there.
Nice, yeah. Amazing. When
So
levels come.
the SPY is starting to sell off again. Same with the Qs. We tried to rally back. We actually got through VWAP no, we didn't get through VWAP. Sorry. We got through the 9 EMA and the 20 EMA on the Qs, and then kind of failed from there. And same with the SPY. We got through the 9 and got through the 20, and then just reversed after we popped up there. So we're kind of back down on the SPY. We're back down to pretty close to this S4 level. The other thing that's kind of bearish about this is after the SPY bounced, it pulled back and then went higher. And this pullback low, we've already dropped below it, which is not necessarily a good sign either. So, um,
Yep, you can see that the highs are getting lower in that sense, and
yeah,
that too after a bearish bit of action with that news. Interesting, yeah. Let's see. Generally, overall bearish. Let's see. You never know what's gonna happen. So take some questions here in the chat. JJ, I made the difference between trading SPY and SPX options. I don't really know. I've only attempted the SPX. I assume the SPY 0DT options aren't too different. I bet Brian can tell you more about that. Probably liquidity differences. But again, you're trading an instrument like that, probably lots of liquidity. Again, I don't have experience with that, so not much I could tell you. Qi Chung, would I take Amazon reversal? No, it's not the way I do it. It would be a V reversal, as we were discussing earlier. Other than that, you're seeing the lows get higher, right? And you get a flat line up there at the top, basically, not ascending wedge. But what I really like to see is a very precise pattern. A double bottom would be excellent. It could still do a double bottom. It might take another 30 minutes to form. But this is not any pattern that I would that I trade. Ma3, what's your top 3 advice for new traders with maybe just a few months of experience? Oh man, okay. Top 3, I could give you about top 30 if you'd like. But I think the first most important thing is don't be too eager to go live. Like seriously, I'm serious, guys. I'm telling you this from experience. You'll save $500,000 if you don't go live. Okay, just don't. Trade in the sim, trade with the funded accounts, like do that stuff. Get your strategy, get your method and your routine working. Get some statistics under your belt of your strategy and how well it works, and can you be profitable 2 quarters in a row in the sim. Do all that stuff. Use the funded account. Again, I wish that was available when I started. That's really the biggest killer. Most people go live too early, they blow up, and they can never ever trade again, and they have other problems in life. Just so many people do that. It's just unnecessary. Just please don't do that. Another piece of advice is don't go looking for dumbass advice. Like seriously, there's a lot of crap out there on the internet, especially in this industry. So make sure you know the source of who you're listening to and you can trust them. And, and of course, community, massive. Again, I can tell you that that has saved me, even though I blew up quite a lot in the first couple of years. Being a part of BBT was massive. Like I quit at one point. I think I've told you guys this before. I quit, and then just watching BBT on YouTube, I got back in the game 6 months later. And since then, I've been in the game. So community is very important. Guys who've been around longer than you, reach out to them. You have moderators, mentors, all that stuff. Like just do that stuff rather than thinking I'm gonna read a book. I got the strategy down. I understand it. I'm gonna throw all my life savings into it on my first day. And that's what not to do. So do the opposite of that, and you'll be okay. So that's from my experience. Emmy, you want me to explain those green lines and how you use it for daily trading? Okay, sure. The green lines, you see this 8 a.m. candle on the 5-minute chart on my screen on Amazon. All I'm doing is marking the high and low of that candle. And I measure that distance. And then I draw a line further up at the same distance, another line further down at the same distance. And you can see it respects it pretty damn well. And you could go up and down your chart as far as you want, just draw it at the same distance. That's all you need. And that's all I do. Nothing to it, just measured moves. Brian, Larry D is asking you, what is that indicator that gives you those levels? I think you're talking about cam pivots, Larry D. Brian, you've got cams, right, on your charts?
I've got cams. Yeah, sorry, I was just looking at something. I was trying to get the numbers that caused the draw. But what are you looking for? Cams on what?
No, somebody here on YouTube is asking, what are those levels on your charts? So you were mentioning the SPY went down to a level, and that was S4s, right?
Yeah, they're called Camarilla pivots levels, and they're based on prior price action from previous days. So to be honest with you, I don't really know. I think Troy would, or not Troy, Thor would be able to um, explain how they're calculated. But I have, they're an option on DOS to put on your charts, and they're quite often very levels that are really respected. Like if you look at the SPY, the rejection that we had was right at R4, which is an area that Thor likes to trade off of. He likes to take a reversal at R4, and literally the SPY went to R4 and rejected, and that's where we started getting the sell off. And as I mentioned list a little bit earlier here, we went down all the way to S4, which is support level 4, and we've bounced off there. Now we're sort of making our way back up again. Nvidia's trying to push back to high of day. There's some big orders there, but these Camarilla pivots, I watch S3 and S4 and R3 and R4 for areas where there could be reversals. And I know it's similar to what it's a similar sort of trade that Abby you do, because you're just going back previous days, like I think you're using 60-minute charts or something like that, and you're just looking for prior levels that could be areas that will be support and resistance, and like the camera pivots are really just that.
Yeah, just horizontal lines, and you can get at them from different angles. Use previous days' highs and lows, or cam pivots, or now I've just started using measured moves. And really, a lot of them just align. Most of I've used levels long enough that I figured almost doesn't matter what method you use to get them; they mostly just align. So,
Ooh,
interesting how that works out.
whoa,
Something just happened. Okay.
something just happened here. Wow, that was a big drop, and I don't think it was really expected
Yeah.
by the market.
Yeah, what happened? Somebody said
What
something.
the heck happened there?
Oh, all right. I exited
Wow,
the position, and let's see Tesla. Whoa. Tesla's almost going to stop me as well.
boom,
It's the second time today.
again, something. What happened there?
Yeah. Again, guys, this is why you have stops in place. So I had a stop in place on Meta. It got
Wow.
hit. Tesla hit. That is
I don't
interesting.
think I didn't have anything for economic events. What time is it? It is no. It's usually economic events usually happen on the hour or the half hour, and this happened at about 5 minutes to 11. So this is something else happened. Not there wasn't anything economic.
Whoa.
Oh,
The
that was
Nvidia
weird.
crap. See that?
Wow, look at this. Look at the SPY. The SPY is like getting destroyed. Same with the
Okay.
Qs, obviously.
Yep.
Wow.
Everything.
The order book on the SPY, I'm looking at Bookmap right now. The order book on the SPY just, as soon as it dropped, it cleared. The market makers all pulled their orders.
What is this? What do you call this?
It's kind of interesting how that phenomenon they wait for
Yeah.
they wait for things to settle down a bit before they put orders back in again.
Mm.
Man, oh
And
man,
there we go. Okay. Things
that was
the
that
other
was a
way.
killer. Ooh,
Yeah, that was huge. That was huge. I had two positions on. One got the stop hit, the other I'm still in it. Didn't hit the stop yet. So that was fun.
Hmm.
Well, things are going the other way for now. You know what? I may be in a position to add into a position now, if that. Yeah, there's ways to take advantage of this too. Let me think. Uh,
Yeah, that was now we bounced back a bit here after
so
that drop.
yeah. And if you guys look at Nvidia's chart, it had a really bad print. 125. Clearly, there was a transaction down there. It wasn't that on this great big wick, there were transactions all the way up and down this wick. They were just printed one transaction. So market makers filled some orders somewhere that I guess had to be filled. That's kind of what it looks like. What do we have? Heavy hitters. Heavy hitters in the market, yeah. Andy Morat, yeah, the 8 a.m. candle is not the same on TradingView. Das gives us the accurate ones. That's why we use it. Idris, okay, president comments. Huh. So that's the news. President comments. Okay. Fed speech, really? This stuff is normally
What is it?
scheduled.
Are the tariffs back on again? Is that we going through that?
Yeah.
Yes,
Again.
Brian, you just hit on it.
All right.
If you hadn't seen
Oh,
the
yeah.
news, if you hadn't seen the news, Trump announced that he's planning to implement what he calls reciprocal tariffs as early as today. That's why the market had an immediate reaction.
I see.
Okay, cool.
So this is a
So
Reuters
by the
report. No details about exactly what that's going to mean, at least not what I see. But clearly, because that news came out at 10:54, which would be a minute or two behind the actual Bloomberg release, and timed perfectly with the market. So there you
Oh,
go.
okay.
Thank you. There
You're
we
welcome.
go. Fun, huh? This can create a lot of opportunities too. I'm very much on the lookout for a way to take advantage of this. Kind of trying to pay attention to who's taking charge, bears or bulls. I'm still in a bullish position on Tesla, so that's still there, still on. Nothing else for now. Can't really tell for now. Joel, this hammer on Nvidia, no. I'm not treating this as a genuine hammer where the bears took over the price, pushed down, and then the bulls took it over from 125 and pushed it all back up. That's not what happened here. What happened here is there was one big transaction at 125 and had to get printed. So this is an invalid piece of price action. So I will not trade based on this. So put it this way, the patterns are broken. Now you're looking for a brave new world right after the news.
Brave new world.
There you go. Jacob, you want the fib levels I'm growing? Oh my god, this is like 5 times a day I gotta talk about this. I'm serious, I'm gonna make a video on this. I keep saying that also every day, but oh well. All right, so these are not fib levels, these are just horizontal lines on the chart. It's the high and low of the 8 a.m. candle on the 5-minute chart. Just measure that distance and then draw lines further up on the chart and further lower on the chart at the same distance. That's all. It's nothing to do with Fibonacci. Forget about Fibonacci. I'm just abusing the tool to turn it into a measured move tool. All you got to do is measure the distance and draw equal distance lines. That's all there is. There you go, Joel. You got it. I just configured it for 33, 66, and 100 just to make it easy. Give me 4 lines on the chart. That's all it is. Ivan, yes, I'm always looking at the 8 a.m. candle. Yep. And that's it. You know where it is. You know where to draw the lines. You know the distance, and I like that it's easy. Okay, let's see now. Tesla moving around a bit. Still seeing buyers there, but let's see. 370.
SPY just rejected the 9 EMA, or the Qs, I should say. Same with the SPY. Both rejected 9 EMA, 2-minute chart. On that pop back up. Wow, this has been one crazy freaking day trading. It's almost like you don't want to hold a position more than 30 seconds.
Yeah, pretty wild, huh?
What a draw. I don't know, but there was a weird wick on NVIDIA. It looked like it literally dropped. It looked like it dropped to S4 below. Let's see, it went, the high in that 2-minute wick was 129.40. The low was 125. That's it. That's in 2 minutes. NVIDIA dropped and came back up again. Look at we're rolling over again here.
Yeah, nuts. I actually was watching that as it happened, and I happened to be watching it as it happened, and it was just you wouldn't see the candle be completely red as it goes down and then it starts to put in a wick before it closes. It was there, and then a wick just appeared on the screen. That's telling you that it was one transaction that happened lower down. It wasn't like bears and bulls
Kind of
fighting
like
it
a
out.
fat finger trade or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Pretty wild.
Well, this is really a day where you got to watch your levels.
Mhm. All right. All right. Out of that Tesla position too. It's no longer bullish. So there we go. All that activity spooked my positions and hit the stops. So that's the end of that. So there you go, guys. That's why you have stops in
Let's see
place.
if this is where, see if we hold here. This is kind of retesting the low.
Boom, drop.
Another gut punch for the bulls today.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at we're making we're heading back down to that wick on the where the SPY was. The SPY wicked out.
Spot. Yeah. Oof. I'm seeing some nice reverse ABCD patterns even, but again, it's not a.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to get patterns when stuff like this seems to be happening. at that. Meta had a
Going
big
a little
drop.
past our time here.
Yeah. Well, if you want to go get some breakfast, Brian, don't worry about it. Go ahead. I'll take care of this.
Yeah, I think I will.
Having fun here. Yeah.
All right, guys. Great trading today, Brian. All right, gonna switch over to continue on YouTube, and Thor will be on in our chat. So I'm gonna make that switch now, and I'll be on with you guys in a second.
All right.
Mhm.
Just taking a bit of a long here on SPX calls. One last trade. Not sure if we're going to find a bottom here. That's what I'm counting on. Anyway, guys, if you're out on YouTube, have a good weekend and watch for my video, swing trade video that'll come out on the weekend. Just can just search on YouTube, Brian Peasant. I'll be throwing my weekend swing trade video out there. And other than that, have a great rest of the weekend, everybody. We'll see you all Monday.
Awesome. Thank you, Brian. Take it easy. Have a great weekend.
Cheers.
All right. So, YouTubers, it's been fun, huh? Few dramatic drops. And again, that's why you have stops in place. Make sure they're always in there. And if it drops like that, it'll hit your stop and you'll be liquidated. And that's a good thing. Very, very good thing. But, let's see. NVIDIA has my attention a little bit. Kind of tricky, but let's see. I don't see any genuine opportunities at the moment. Kind of hard when the market misbehaves like this. I want to be extra careful. Ahmed, no place for me now. I was in 2 positions before all that nonsense happened, and now I'm not in those positions. They were both bullish positions. Hey, Matthew. Melanie, you want to know about Microsoft on the weekly? Let's have a look. Inverted hammer? Not really, no. It hasn't got room to the left. It's just choppy in this area. You want this wick to be all the way on its own, up in space. Nothing around it. Kind of like you see this action here, there's nothing around it. Didn't want to be there, it went down. That's where you want. If this wick was further up here in this 470 zone, that would be interesting. But this is just chop, 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 chop on the weekly chart. VXX, what do you want to do with VXX? It's not the VIX. BZ Capital, no, I actually tightened my stops. They didn't hit. The initial move down didn't hit the stop, didn't get there, but I tightened it up and exited these positions. Because the patterns are broken. I gave it some time. I watched it carefully, but the patterns are broken. And now waiting for new patterns to form. It could form or could be nothing. Could be the end of the day for me, or whatever. I don't know. Just keep an eye on stuff and see what happens. Ahmed, you want to know about room to the left? Okay. Let's see what's on the screen here. We have Microsoft. If you look at Microsoft at the open here today, went up, hit this 418.50 area. It has not been here in a long time. There is room to the left. Right? Last time it was here was at some point yesterday on a 5-minute chart. I just look at a 5-minute chart. Compared to if you're looking at this time frame here, about 9 a.m. or so, there's no room to the left. This is just chop. It's just sitting there. Once it goes and it's all by itself, the thinking is that it doesn't like to be there. This is where it likes to be, right? You can see it's just sitting there for a while, but then it goes to a place where it doesn't like to be, where it hasn't been in a while. That's telling you that it's not in its comfort zone anymore. Like, yeah, just like a human being, out of your comfort zone, you kind of want to quickly go back to your comfort zone quickly or find a new comfort zone. So what it's telling you when you have room to the left is that it's not likely to be there for very long. Ideally, you have a level in that area. Ideally, you get a pattern in that area that you like, and off you go. You can trade that, long or short. It just doesn't want to be there. So I like to see room to the left before I take on any trades. That's the whole theory behind it. Francis Xavier, your stop on NVIDIA was not filled. That to manually do a stop, I was $2 down. Your stop was not filled. What, on that big wick when that happened? It was not filled. It wouldn't have been filled on this wick because there were no transactions going on this wick. There was only one transaction at 125. If you're watching the tape, you probably see that. Just one big transaction, and that has to be printed. And so it just prints it as a great big wick. If your stop was, let's say, like 127, for example, it would not have filled. It would just print and go, and you'd still be in the position. So NVIDIA was interesting. It actually did that. Everything else that I'm seeing didn't do that. It actually went down, and then, it just went down fast. NVIDIA had this odd transaction. Big whale on NVIDIA. Somebody bought $1 billion worth of NVIDIA at 125. Somebody sold, I don't know. Where did that happen? At about yesterday's close, yesterday's high. It's also pre-market support, not yesterday, 2 days ago. You can see 125, pretty interesting level, huh? Keep an eye on 125 for the rest of today and next week. Anyways, it's a big number, so we'll see. Amanda, you want Lunar? I don't know anything about Lunar. And you're talking about warrants, exercise their warrants. You have 3,000 shares. Oh my gosh. I don't know anything about warrants. I read about it at one point years ago. Honestly, I can't tell you. Whatever I tell you now would be a guess, and that would be doing you a disservice. So I'd rather not guess and tell you. I have no idea. I'm the wrong person for that sort of thing. Sorry. So yeah. Wonder what is bullish here. Just have an eye for bullish stuff at the moment. I don't know why. Amazon. Very hard to trust anything. Even if a good pattern sets up now, I'm going to struggle to trust anything. It's like people have to kind of sort of get back into the game. The game has to restart. It's not a game though, guys. It's not a game. It's it's the markets here. It can blow you up. So it's not a game. Sorry I said that. Ooh, a few of you guys got cooked on Nvidia. Yeah, be careful. I took 2 full stops as well, one on Tesla and one on Meta. So not nice when that happens, but again, that's why you have stops in place. That's why you survive to trade another day, right? What are we looking at? Yeah, I don't see anything setting up. It's just everything's stagnant. So, what do y'all want to talk about while things are not moving? Webinar next week, guys. February 13th in Trading Terminal. I did one 2 weeks ago, I think. And doing another one on February the 13th. So it's the love webinar. It's the Valentine's Day. I'm going to give you all a lot of love. So make sure you come. You'll have fun. Right? Don't miss it. Fun. It's free before you all ask. It's free. It's on Trading Terminal. So put that in your calendars. Arvind, you want to know about my routine with my mentees? Real quick, I trade with them live every day, and I talk to them one-on-one when necessary, whenever we need to. And then we have a Discord community that we maintain, and we stay in touch and share all kinds of stuff. So that's all there is, really. the quick and dirty of it. There's more to it, of course, but that's the quick of it. Mr. C, you want to know about ELF? What is that? What is this thing? Whoa, big drop. Found new buyers after a lot of indecision up front. Gosh, I wouldn't know what to do with this. I mean, I would put the 8 a.m. candle, look for patterns, but even if there was a level up in this area, I don't see a pattern. It's just come down to 70 to retest the previous serious high. If it bounces, that's a retest, it goes up. But that's a big if, right? So wait for that. Where'd you find this? I didn't even know it existed. Ryan Scott, LEU. Okay. Again, nothing, something I have not heard of. What is this? Looks like very bullish up front and then it's chop. Again, even if you have a level that you like to trade off, I don't see anything up there. What happened? Very bullish, pull back, and just kind of struggling to break the serious high about 108. Keeps, it's always a false breakout. So, nope, I don't see anything there. And I think I might be done for the day. Just take these 2 stops and forget about it because this is just a mess. Market will still be here on Monday, and so will I. So why overdo it? We have Alpha. You want to know about? Oh, you just joined. Oh, welcome. Was just curious about whether you've taken any trades. No, I was in 2 positions, long, and stopped on both of them because, well, when the market did its whole crashing thing a little while ago. So that's it. Nothing else since then. RGTI, you want to see? Well, ingenious pathways. If you look at this chart, I've got an RGTI. I have no volume bars on it. So if you're saying there's capitulation volume, then maybe there is. I don't know. I don't look at the volume really. Hey, Carlos, welcome back.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good, man. Good. It feels like the whole market's behaving like a low float up and then pop down and another pop down. And news. I'm like, what is going on? It's just fun.
Yeah, it's a little bit nuts with all this news coming out, and some we weren't expecting. It's just a lot of action.
Yeah. What a blast.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Good times.
Hey guys, and look at this on the chart. Even AMD, like right at the level, even with news. I mean, where does it find support? Well, pretty much where you'd expect it. And if you look at Tesla, same thing. It did that whole news thing, it just totally dumped. And where did it find support? Well, there you go. So, you can still find setups if you're careful. Levels are interesting. Price has memory. People always remember the price at which they bought something important, right? How much did you pay for your car, for your house, for whatever? Price has memory. Candlesticks have memory. It's embedded in the candlestick DNA. That's how I see it. That's why levels work. So you can go on a daily chart, find support resistance line, and if the price gets there, it'll remember that it was here before. It'll behave differently when it gets there. That's the late night philosophy on it. Well, there you go. What else we got here? JJMA, multiple time frames. No, I used to. No, I don't. No more. I just simplified things. I'm getting the same results, so make it simple. Lee Hutchinson, yes, I use stops on options trades as well. You can just put them on the chart just like anything else. Yes, we there you go. Thank you, Alpha. That's a very good point. Find your own style and your own edge. Irrelevant of whatever position I happen to be in or you happen to be in, just or anybody else. You really gotta work hard on finding your own edge that makes sense to your personality and your perception and your temperament and your appetite for risk to reward and your circumstances in life. And it's a very personalized thing. Again, that's where community, mentors, that's where that stuff comes in. That's where it's important. If you just want a simple strategy, well, it's all over our YouTube channel. Just take a look. You find millions of videos. But there's a lot more to it, to really being able to do it consistently over years and showing up and going through the rough patches and all that. That's where the game is played. That's where the winners are made. And actually, that's part of the webinar I'll be doing next week. Here's a little hint. It's about finding your way, finding your strategy, and how. How'd you do that? So that's what I'll be getting into next week. February 13th again, guys. Trading Terminal webinar. Don't miss it. If you just want strategy, I mean, that's already on YouTube. So this is more deep, a lot deeper. So what else are we seeing here? For now, I'm not seeing anything that can be traded. I'm seeing things moving, but I can't see anything that can that I would trade. Oh boy. Yeah, now things pop. Look at that. I was just saying things are moving, and here we go. No, I didn't time that. That's just whatever the market's doing.
It's
Is
just
this another
madness.
piece of news?
I don't
More
know
news.
what's going on today. Today's a very interesting Friday. It's just a lot happening, which is
It
great.
is.
Great for us. Great for us.
Yep. Dean, the webinar is not on BBT or on YouTube. It's the webinar is in tradingterminal.com. There we go.
Yep.
We almost 400 likes.
We can get you a link. Yeah, let's get those likes up,
All
guys.
right.
We're almost there at 400. We're at 360 something. So help us get there. Really, really appreciate it. Helps us out a ton.
There you go. Good stuff, guys. Willie Mack, how do you test a new strategy trading terminal replay? How much back testing before you feel comfortable giving it a new strategy? Willie Mack, so the appropriate method that I always subscribe and what I like, or prescribe, and that I like, is the first back test it, as in look at old screenshots, look at old price action, see if it makes sense, if you're able to see consistency. And then, yes, use Trading Terminal in the replay mode. And I can't tell you how many hours I spend in there all the time. And always, again, ask my mentees to get in there and practice and really watching it and practicing, taking on these trades in the replay mode and getting statistics on them, screenshot them, use an Excel chart, get statistics, wins, losses, win rates, RVR, all this stuff. Once you've done that plenty, you have enough of a sample set you can rely on, like 100 trades perhaps, then go live with a small size. Try it in the real market. Now you're kind of on your way. But that's just, again, that's just strategy. That's after you've come up with a theory behind it and all that. That's actually the last bit of it. There's a lot more that goes in the, early on before you even get into that stuff.
You got a webinar coming up next week. What day?
13th February.
Nice.
Yeah. So
and guys, here's how you can sign up for that. It's tradingterminal.com, and you're gonna see. Let me show you. Actually, you're gonna see a. Let's go to that. Right over here, you're gonna see a webinars tab right at the top over here. So just go ahead, click on that, and it's gonna take you to what's coming up. So right now you're showing Pierre. Pierre was this week, so that's what took place on the 6th yesterday. And then this is going to update shortly and show Avi's webinar next week. And you could just join the free webinar right on here. And again, pretty great information. So definitely take advantage of that. I'm also, as I'm watching my trade here, I'm doing my checkout on Temu. Found a leather jacket here, my friend, for $32. So I got all my information ready to go. I just got to do the payment. And I almost sold out. So I got to move quick on this. So yeah, should be. I'm gonna get it. Take it to Vancouver. So make sure you bring yours.
oh, so if you buy it right now, I'll put mine on right now for you. Right here.
Okay, we'll do it right now. Yeah, I'm gonna do it right now.
Hit the button. Come on, hit the button.
Hit the
Come on,
button.
guys, everyone.
Hit the button, baby.
More likes. Hit the button. Hit the button. More likes. Carlos gonna
Hit
buy a
the button.
jacket. I'll wear a jacket.
I can do this right through PayPal. Good, so I don't have to get my wallet. Awesome stuff. All right. Free shipping,
yes.
You can't beat that. That's pretty nice. I'm getting the confirmation code on my phone. We'll get that going. All right, man, how's your training so far? I heard you got stopped twice, but did you have any good ones, or was it a off day for you today?
Yeah, that was it. I just had 2 positions on, and then the news thing happened, or whatever happened. I don't know. Everything dropped, so I exited both of those. One of them hit the stop that was in place. The other one, I tightened the stop and exited before 1 hour. So that's that. You know, hitting 2 losses can happen on any damn trading day anyway. So whatever. No big deal.
Yeah.
Happens all the time. Um,
Yeah, it's no
no big
biggie,
deal.
man.
And then for now, I don't see any trades. I got a question here. Am I back in long Tesla? No, I'm not. Even though it went off the level, it looks strong. I'm not in it. I didn't get back into it just because I stopped earlier, because I don't see a setup. If it sets up, then perhaps I will take it. Wahid, I'm in Dubai. Don't ask me where in Dubai. I'll send you on a wild goose chase.
Was there a membership giveaway this week? There wasn't. I think we forgot about it, right? Because Andrew was on Wednesday, and we were so into the trading, man. We forgot about the giveaway this week, so we'll do it again when Andrew returns, and yeah, we'll get that going for you guys.
Yeah. Best thing, man. BBT membership, guys. Best thing. Mac, you
All
want to know
right,
what I did
man.
with Tesla? Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
it
Go
is
ahead.
booked. It is booked. It's on its way. There it
All
is.
right.
Payment successful. So should be getting my jacket any day now.
Any day now. Thing takes 3 weeks to arrive. That's what
uh,
mine.
any day now. Oh, it's not Amazon. It's not Amazon quick.
No, what are you thinking about? It's coming from China
Uh,
and tariffs and I don't know what else.
yeah, I figure they have some stuff here in the warehouse hanging out, but we'll see.
We'll
All right.
see. All right, give me a
Looking
moment. I'm
forward to
gonna get my
that.
tag.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, black, of course, Melanie. You gotta get black. I got black on this thing. No, it says delivery 3 to 7 days, man. Unless they're lying to me here. 3 to 7 days
That's
of
what it
delivery.
said.
So
Said that for
that's what
me,
it
and it took
says. But that's not what you. That's not what you get.
what you get for $32, man.
Yeah.
But there you go. I got it on just
Would
for you, Carlos. Happy Friday.
love it, man. I think I got the same one as you do, probably.
Got this. Oh no,
Um,
no.
nah,
The
mine's got
same
a little
chat.
bit different. I just saved like 150 on this thing. This is 159. We'll see what that 159 feels like. All right, where else can you get trading plus shopping advice, right? So hit that like over at bearwithtraders.com, man. It's awesome. All right, let's get some questions. I had a really wild day today, man. It was broke some rules. I was just on a tear. I don't know. Normally I don't do this type of trading, but today was one of those days where I just like I said, forget it, let's go. And it paid off, but I know I got lucky on some of this stuff, so that's okay. POTR was the trade today where I was just not 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 as focused as I usually am, but
Mhm.
but it worked out. I'm still in it right now, so we'll see if we can push any higher on this. So we'll see how
Right.
it goes.
It worked out, but again, guys, that's a great thing. Carlos knows that he got lucky at some point
Yeah,
and is well
yeah,
aware of it. That's the key. Because a lot of people will make that mistake. They'll break rules, they'll have it turn green, and then they'll make a habit of it. That's the dangerous part.
yeah, yeah.
So that's a lesson right there, guys. Again,
I
I've
haven't.
made that mistake. So,
Yeah, I haven't done this in a long time. Like it's been a while since I just like, you know what, today I'm not gonna go I'm not gonna follow my stop at break even. I'm not gonna do this. It was weird today, man. I was just on a different mode. But those are very, very few days in the year and far in between. But yeah. So here's PRTR. Oh, sorry, I forgot to hide the triangles. The triangles are only for chat, but that's okay. You guys can see it. This would have been the trade. Here's the entry. Beautiful engulfing 5 minute. Andrew loves this strategy as well. I do also. I mean, we see this strategy is go long. It's such a powerful strategy. And PLTR had actually they've been crushing it, man. These guys, they're just on fire. So we got in long a little bit late, just on the strength. Got stopped out the first time. Comes back to my entry again. I looked at this as strength here off the VWAP. Went back long, took a partial, and then this is when the news kind of started breaking out. The stock actually the news broke out even sooner at 10, and we didn't get the drop. And to me, that was like, okay, this stock is strong. It's not caring about the news here. Did drop a little bit. Came to my break even. I still waited. I'm like, I'm not getting out this time. So once it came back up, I took this is a limit order, by the way. Look at that limit order. There's no way you could time this. So I literally put a limit order right at 114.28. You try to do a market order on that, you're gonna get a different fill. Probably would have been around here somewhere, but that's a limit order. And actually, that limit order I had here and did not get filled, Avi. Right here, I did not get filled on that 11-14 order. Came back down, came back up, then got filled. So it happens. And I still got some in this. Got this huge drop when I don't know what broke out with the market. I held through this. That's a no-no. I should have stopped out at break even, but I was just like, you know what? Let's just see what happens. And it's paying off right now. But yeah, don't do this. This is not good. It'll work here and there, but in the long run, you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay the price, and I know that. I know I got lucky here. I should have been stopped out there, and this trade would have covered the red trade. So there was no need for me to hold on to this drop here. I could have easily gotten back in if I thought this thing was still in play. That's actually would have been a better play because the entry would have been here right above the VWAP. So I could have even got a better entry, full size shares again, and then taking it for the high of the day. That's a better strategy. So I'm very aware that, hey, I got lucky today, it paid off, but this is not something I'm gonna go do every single day. It's not gonna pay off.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Well, great job, being aware of that. And you even sat through that limit order not being filled. I mean, that sucks when that happens, but that's the risk you take with limit orders as well.
yeah.
Cool, man. You got that. Nice. Nice.
Nvidia. Let's get some questions. How have they on Roblox? How's Roblox doing? They had their earnings, didn't do so well, right? They had that big drop. Oh, I didn't look at that. They did recover on Thursday. So I didn't we have Roblox on our list? I think I did, but I wasn't paying attention yesterday. But they did recover. They're looking to close this gap even further. They're at their high of their day. I'm not a great high of day trader, so I won't be looking to take a trade here. But how does it look on your moves there, Avi? I'm not sure if you have the 8 a.m. candle. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I'm just putting it on right now. Let's see, 8 a.m. candle on RBLX. Oh, where is it? There it is. So there are the lines, guys. It looks like it's just breaking through one of them right now, where it topped out earlier. So again, I wouldn't call this a breakout. This is more likely to end up as a double top. But let's see, you never know. If it breaks high of day, that could work. And then 69 is the next target up. So interesting. You can see how it's moving in waves. Moved up.
Yeah.
Made a higher low, then broke the high, then a higher low. Let's see if it continues that pattern. Break the high, higher low. That's basically a trend. That's a dirty trend, though, I gotta say. It's not a trend I'd like to participate in. Friday, man.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm not that adventurous, even on Fridays. So, yeah. This is a whole lot of entertainment today.
I don't see anything on Trump's account today. Where did he comment? Who knows, man? He has the media with him like 24/7 in the Oval Office. He's always doing something. So he could have just said something to one of those journalists. Maybe they put something out that someone caught. If he did say a comment, did he say a comment? What comment did he say? What did he do? Well, I don't see anything on Benzinga. So, but yeah. Tariffs are back on. End of the month.
Yes.
Hey, Carlos.
Hey, how's it going, Peter?
Good. If you go back to 1054 in Benzinga, you can find a news article out of Reuters that says he apparently made a statement that he's looking to put some interim tariffs back in place. It said as of Friday, which I interpreted to mean as of today, but you never know. Or maybe he meant next Friday. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
Anyways, it's just a single mention. There's no supporting backup. There's no actual quotes, so it's tough to know. But I mean, the market absolutely reacted. I mean, that's the exact time when the market did its first the dipsy doodle there. So
yeah, did he say what country? Or
no, that's the thing. Right?
Okay, all right.
That's what I was looking for, obviously, to understand. But no, there was no mention of which which of the three target nations. We're presuming it's one of the three. Who knows? Could be something different. But anyways, again, it's an unsubstantiated comment. But hey, we're back into the Trump era, right? Which means that this is exactly the type of thing you've got to be aware of. It just happens more often. We saw it last time he was president. We're seeing it again. So
yeah. Well, one of the things that Trump does is he thinks out loud, right? Like other presidents, they'll sit back and they'll be quiet. As he's thinking, he's just saying it, right? And then people just take that and run with it. That happens a lot. So his executive secretary, what's her name? She's really good. she has a lot of work to do to clear things up after in the press conferences. Like, well, Trump said this. Like, what does that mean? Well, he was just, So he's different in that way to what we're used to when it comes to other presidents, right?
Absolutely.
Different in that way to most public officials.
Yes, yeah,
He is
yeah.
in a very unique position because you're right. Most people, right, they'd be crucified for making off-the-cuff comments that they couldn't or wouldn't
Hmm.
substantiate. And it's actually quite impressive if you sort of think about how he can say anything, like absolutely anything, and people will like either say, "Yeah, it's brilliant," or "Don't take him seriously." And in alternate breaths, right?
Hmm.
It's amazing when you start to think about it. Like, well, I have a fondness for an old TV show called The West Wing, and The West Wing was a great
My
show.
wife watches that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Alan Sorkin. Anyways, the writer admitted he was like on cocaine the whole time he wrote it. So it's like super fast paced and the dialogue is fast and everything's fast and everything. But anyways, the scandals they're worried about in the White House are so tame compared to what we see now. Like the stuff they're worried about as a scandal now, it hasn't aged well, I guess, because you look at it, you're like, really? They're worried about that? Like, who cares, man? That happens every day these days. Like, it
Yeah,
hardly
yeah.
matters. So, anyways, it's funny in
I
that
I
respect.
also think that in politics and business and everything, like people are saying, "Oh wow, they couldn't believe this." I bet some of this stuff, like even lower level politics, like local officials, they get caught with. Like we got this guy from Jersey got caught with taking bribes, go go bars, and he's a big time lawyer. Forgot his name. He's getting like 11 years in jail. His wife got a Mercedes Benz. This stuff's been going on for years. It's just now it's so easy to get caught. There's cameras everywhere. Everybody's watching, So I think it's more in the light, but this is not new. This is not new. Trust me.
Oh no.
This, yeah. So like airplanes. Now we had another airplane, unfortunately, that went missing going to Alaska. And there's 10 people on board. Smaller aircraft just happened yesterday around 3 o'clock. Looks like they can find the plane. Um, and we had a Delta that hit a Chinese airline hit a Delta tail. Everything's on video. Everybody has their phone. Before, you probably wouldn't even hear about a Delta hitting a plane on the tarmac. You wouldn't hear about that. It wouldn't be news. There'd be no video. It would be local stuff. Now, everybody has a camera. Everybody's recording. Everything is out there. So I think things move a lot quicker now. Canada's not
I
for
would say
sale.
I can't imagine going to university these days. I'm glad I went to university when I did because if that stuff was on camera, that just that would not bode well.
That would not be pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right, I'll leave you guys
Nice.
back to the show.
Yep. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you, Peter. Nice,
All right.
nice. As we were going
As
through
for
that,
us traders, it's good. For us traders, this is
yeah,
volatility, rumors, news, whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's take advantage of it. I mean, we're seeing a lot of that. So for us as
mhm.
traders, is awesome. You were saying,
Let
Abby?
it- I was just watching Google as it broke the low of day as we were talking, and then through 185. So there's some interesting activity. Looks like nice reverse ABCD patterns, right? But this is hard to get into. It's making a move now. Could you have anticipated it? I was looking back at it. Nope, not me. But there it is, moving down through
Yeah.
185 now. Low of day, perhaps a breakout if you trade all that stuff. But generally,
Yeah.
most things are bearish. We have Amazon as well, looking very similar. But again, how and where would you get into this sort of thing? It's very,
Yeah.
very
A
dangerous.
lot of the big tech is not having a good time right now, unless you're Meta, right? Meta is still green, and somehow they manage a way to just keep going higher. They went to 725 today, so this stock, man, they're doing something right. This company,
Meta, yeah.
yeah, new all-time highs today, 725.01.
The case of buy the dip, huh?
Yeah,
Today, 712. Oh, cool. What did we miss in the chat? I'm just scrolling up a little.
yep,
Danny, where do you put the bottom of the measured 8 a.m. move? I put it on the bottom of the wick, the low of the 8 a.m. candle. Keshav, yeah, I stopped out on Tesla a while back, like half an hour back or something. Kyle Taylor, take the bike out for a night ride. Oh yeah, now that Carl's got me with a jacket on, I'm gonna have to go for a bike ride. Which shit, there's no way.
Yeah,
Be
it's
great at night.
yeah, absolutely. I don't have a bike license, but we'll do e-bikes in Vancouver if they have any. We'll ride around in e-bikes or leather jackets. In fact, we're gonna pull up to the event with our e-bikes. That'll be fun. We'll rent them.
All right, all right. You guys all on these e-bikes. I'm gonna come with a big old Harley. Just like show you.
Yeah, yeah. Here's here's Robin Hood. Someone mentioned Robin Hood's holding up. Yeah, they're holding up pretty good as well. Not a great trader. I usually don't like their price action, but they are holding up pretty well.
Yeah, this is price action's messy for
Picks.
now.
Yeah. Yeah, Melanie, we'll take pictures. Me and Abby we'll put our leather jackets on. We'll take pictures for sure. Should be fun.
Why do you want pictures? You gotta come there and take your own pictures. Come on, get on to
Ah.
Vancouver.
Melanie lives in Vancouver. She lives in the island. I forget the island name, but she lives out there. So possibility could happen.
Awesome, yeah. Come hang out. A lot of fun.
All right. POTR is coming back to below that 114 level where I took a partial. I'm not gonna be too patient this time. So if it gets any lower, I don't want to come in near my break even. So I might just jump out of this. We'll see. See how it goes. You're not gonna. You don't get lucky twice. So careful.
Yeah, don't push it.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Vancouver Island. Yes, that's the name of it.
Right, yeah. Oh, man, Meta. I keep talking about Meta keeps driving me nuts.
Hmm.
It wasn't long ago where I would just trade Meta almost exclusively. It felt like just because set up every time, every day, every day. It was just
Yeah.
always there for me in the way I like to trade. But those days seem to have passed.
Do you plan for a seminar on the East Coast? Steve, we've done a couple in New York. We had one of I think the first ones of our annual one started in New York, and then we just started doing it in Vancouver. New York is just so expensive for what you get, man. So Vancouver is nice. I think, not sure if we're always going to do it in Vancouver. You know what would be a nice place to have it? Just because the flights are easy. Like you can get flight from anywhere, and this is why almost every event you have is in this location is Vegas. Everybody can get to Vegas, direct flights, cheap flights. I mean, you can find some flights for $200 round trip sometimes here from New Jersey, right? If you look at the right time. So I think that could be an interesting place. I mean, some people don't like Vegas. I think Vegas, if you go to the right places, you can have a lot of fun. They got everything. If you like nature, they got nature. They got a Grand Canyon. Go look at that stuff. If you like partying, they got tons of clubs. You like shows, they have shows. I mean, they have everything. So I think that could be a place where an event would be really nice, right? So
Yeah, convenient for everyone, and yeah, it could work.
yeah,
A lot of people like Vegas anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, guess we haven't thought about that. But yeah, Carlos, I think the first one was actually in Florida, and then we did New York.
First
I didn't
one's
go
in
to the.
Florida. Yeah.
Did you go to Florida? I didn't go to that one. That
No,
was a very
no, I didn't go to that one.
yeah. And then yeah, New York. No, then San Diego, I think. Then New York. And, yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah.
all good. Yeah. Vegas. Gosh, I haven't gone to Vegas in forever, and
It's been a while, man. I used to go almost every year with my previous company because they had the CS show. They had a lot of other appliance shows, so we were part of those. And yeah, and aside from the CS show, our like appliance manufacturers, like local regional shows, they will have their shows in Vegas. Everybody love going to that spot.
cool, man. Yeah, I don't really crave Vegas at all, but yeah, if we're doing it, we'll do it.
Yep.
If that's what that is. Um, Zach and Z, have we met in person? Yes, but not in leather jackets. So now we have to say no, we have not met in person.
Yes. Not the new us. Not the new Temo us. Yeah, we're gonna rack out. We'll see whose leather jacket is shinier. Well, mine's gonna be newer, so probably mine, but it's okay. We'll put some oil on yours. if we need to.
You realize it's just a cheap piece of plastic, right? I should say.
Hey, for $32, you can expect more. Anyway, you probably can't wet this thing. We probably can't even wear it in the rain. So yeah, we'll be careful. It's raining today. It's drizzling. You can't wear the leather jacket.
Oh no.
Man. All right, I'm getting impatient here on POTR, so I think I'm going to pull the trigger. Again, this was fun. It did cover the loss already, so we'll be ending a green day, but don't know if it's going to survive this pullback here again, and I don't want to take it to my break even. So let's end the Friday green without any drama, and I think that would be good.
Cool. Yep. Manage the risk and the day. Smart move.
Yep. Let's just get out of that. All right, so we're all out of that. Right below that 114 level. I'll show you guys here. Is that there? Yep. So we're completely out. And again, this was a decent trade late. But this, if I would have got in here, if I would have saw this early, this would have been awesome. This would have been the play, but it is what it is.
All right. Well, you got it.
Yeah, beggars can be choosers, right? We were definitely got lucky on that one.
Hey guys, I'll show you something here if you want to see.
Yep.
Bit of price action stuff. If you look at Microsoft, it's got a bit of a flat bottom. Let's just put a line there. And whenever I see action like this, I see a flat bottom and I see the highs getting lower. This is a wedge. So a lot of you guys might be familiar with it, but if you're not, this is a very interesting one. It's a simple one to pick up. You see that? And so that is an indication for a breakout, as in it's setting up for a breakout. It may not. But the most likely thing to happen when you see this is that it breaks through the level. It just keeps hitting the level, and the sellers are pushing it lower, lower, lower. The buyers are nowhere to be seen, really, because they're just stuck right there. They can't really go. And then you anticipate a breakout. Ideally, when you see this, it happens at a significant level. I just put the line here just because action is here right now. But let's see if we have something down there. Looks like, yeah, it was interesting a couple of days ago. It was pretty much a level. You could call it the low or intraday level or whatever. So if it's a level you believe in and you see action like this is a breakout setup, this descending wedge. If you look at Apple, same situation. Right now, Apple and Microsoft are both setting up for that breakdown. Apple's wedge is kind of bigger. Well, where is it? Oh, let me get a line here. Trend line. There it is. If you want to look at it that way, it's pretty large, but there you go. So the most likely scenario, if it's going to go anywhere, is there. Of course, there's no guarantees in the market, but you're looking at trade book, you're looking at setups. You want to find a way you can trade consistently. You got to find a strategy. This is one very simple one. As far as strategies are concerned, you see quite often a lot of newer traders get into this. You don't just wait for it to go through a line, but how does it behave before it goes through a line? How do you anticipate a breakout? Right here. This triangle is very obvious, and there it is. It's happening right now. Same thing on Microsoft. It's happening right now.
And Nicholas, usually when people say breakout, doesn't really mean breaking up, right? But they consider that breaking up. But this is still a breakout. It's just a breakdown, right? It's not a break up, right? But I get it. So when he's saying breakout, he's meaning breaking down towards that below that level. So
let's go through the level is the idea. So there's you guys starting out looking for strategies. I mean, strategies are just there are simple strategies out there. This is one of them. But then again, there's various other things that go into it, as in how do you manage yourself? How do you manage the risk? What's your risk to reward? Do you have the temperament for this sort of thing? What's your appetite? What's your time frame? There's a lot of things that go into it. But there you go. This one's a pretty obvious one that just popped up. But again, I think when you're doing this, make sure it's at a key level that you trust, that you have belief in. I just put the line on the chart right now for an example. But you can see it was intraday level. You could look at that. That was 8 a.m. candle a couple of days ago. Happens to just want to be there or break out from there, but let's see. And again, it's all probabilities, right? So we saw the breakout happen. If you were in it on a 1 minute chart, you may have let's see, you get the pop and then back in. So now it's turned into, so far looks like a false breakout, which happens a lot too. And a lot of people trade that too. They can see a good breakout. If it turns out to a false breakout, retest from the downside or retest this 229 and they go long. That's another way of doing it. So again, it's all probabilities and how do you trade? How do you want to trade? You're trying to identify your trading style. So there's a lot of these sorts of things. That's why you want to be in the simulator first. You want to practice. You want to make sure you get statistics. Are you able to identify this? Are you able to execute it? Then what's the reward? What's the risk? Is it being successful just on simulator trading? and then maybe you try and risk a little money in the market slowly. So
Yeah.
there you go. There's that one right there. I used to trade
Thank
this
you
all the
guys.
time.
We did get above 400, so thank you for that 411 likes. We appreciate it. Appreciate the likes there. So thank you guys.
Nice work. Thank you guys. Brilliant. A lot of fun here on a Friday night.
Yeah, this Friday is actually pretty exciting. So a lot going on. And Avi's saying Friday night because he's over in Dubai, but Friday afternoon for us
Yeah.
here in the U.S. or evening if you're in Europe as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of activity. Well, we have for earnings. We have pins for earnings. So pins still holding a 16-17% gap up on pins. So this will be nice. This will be nice for the next couple of days. I mean, it didn't trail that great today. Very wicky. If you look at the after the first initial candle, so not a great price action, but we'll see. This is still pretty nice for the next coming few days. I think we'll get some action out of it, hopefully, because if you look at the daily, it's just on this island up here. Yeah, so they could possibly start taking some profits and heading lower if it starts dropping. But I think this should be fun. So we'll keep an eye on it next week. Then we got earnings, SMCI next week. That's gonna be interesting to see how they're actually doing. That's on Tuesday. And we got some other ones too. And then everybody's waiting for NVIDIA at the end of the month, I believe. Yeah, SMCI is Tuesday.
Nice. Yeah, it's been wild. It wasn't I was trading it actually not long ago when felt like it was moving $20 per candlestick or something wild. It was just
that was at the
ridiculous.
beginning. Yeah, at the beginning of their madness when we actually started paying attention. It was moving insane, man.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then that big drop was when they pulled their. I think they pulled some numbers, or the guy from the finance he quit. So that kind of raised some red flags right away. Yeah, when your finance guy is quitting before earnings release, it says he's not gonna release the numbers. Yeah, something's up, man.
Yeah, he just didn't want
What
to
are
get
you
arrested
hiding?
anymore.
He's like, I'm not getting arrested with you guys. No way. I'm not lying. I'm not pulling a fraud here.
Wow.
That's insane.
Wild stuff.
Uber going crazy. Let's take a look. Any other questions, guys, over on chat? We got a couple of minutes left here. Oh, look at Uber trading like a boss here. Look at that. All day. They've just been chucking away, man. Look at this price action. Look at this daily.
Yep.
Uber is so messed up. When we don't look at it, you do this. Like, what is wrong with you? Wow.
Gosh, yeah.
Stock is on fire, man. But,
We got Willie Mack here saying we'll get 500 likes if we got leather pants along with these jackets.
That's not happening. Leather pants? Nah, it's too far. Have you seen and then we're going to go off the rails here. It's Friday. It's okay. We can go off the rails for a little bit, so just kind of hang with us. You seen that episode from Friends with the leather pants in the bathroom? Or Ross is trying to get on the leather pants, and he gets wet or something. So now the leather pants, leather and being wet, he can't put them up, and then he puts the powder all over his pants. Oh my goodness! It's probably one of the funniest episodes I've seen in my life. It's hilarious, man.
That is pretty funny. You guys are talking about pants and leather pants. Well, my trading strategy is actually called naked trading. So what makes you think I'm wearing pants? I trade. I don't trade with
Man, I hope that camera is as strong as the BA stock when it has crashes, man. I hope that camera stays front and center. We don't need any shaking or tilting on your camera.
Yes, I've firmly mounted it up here. In a place like Dubai, I get arrested for indecent exposure.
For Friday's story, real quick. So Andrew one time was trading. He was in his laptop. He just woke up he's trading from his hotel. He's traveling, and as he's doing the trading and whatever, he puts his laptop down, like puts it down to kind of like reach for something, and then his camera faces here. He had shorts on, but you could tell he was just still in his box. He was just waking up. He was relaxing. We're like, Andrew, don't put your camera down. We're like, oh man, it was good times, man. I gotta love this stuff.
Oh, we love it,
Uh, Amazing.
Good, good. Well, if
Good,
it helps
good
you guys,
stories.
I do own leather pants, so give a few likes for that. And Carlos about to buy some anyway.
Oh
And
no.
same
Oh
move.
man. Uh, you know,
Yeah, bought it.
if we ever get no, I'm not. I will say 1,000 likes in our show here when we do our show, but that's too easy. People will just come in just to mess with me. No,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that. That's a losing bet. That's a
That's
losing
funny.
bet. All right. Yeah. So, guys, Uber. Yeah, I was gonna look up the news on Uber. So, Bill Ackman posts on X. Beginning in early January, we began acquiring a position in Uber. Today, we own 33 million shares. Whew. Okay. Now that news just came out 20 minutes ago, so that's not at least that headline. So that's not really why Uber is moving, unless other people knew about it as well. But that's nice. That's real nice.
Yeah, 20 minutes ago, it started putting in some big moves. It was
Yeah.
already on move, but then the candles just got bigger.
I'm
So
sure.
yeah, that's
I'm sure. Because you got to report when you own a certain size of amount of shares in one individual stock. You got to report it, right? Like Elon almost got in trouble because he started buying, and they did report it. But I think he got in trouble with the SEC because he didn't report that his intentions was to buy Twitter at that time. So he got some lawsuits. I don't know whatever ended up happening with that. But if you're buying that many shares, I'm sure people knew in advance that he was already doing it. But I guess now he actually made the comment or confirmed it to the public, right? That's a lot of shares. He truly believes this is going to be the next best thing here on Uber. So man, it's got to be sitting pretty because usually by the time you got 33 million shares, you've been in for a couple of weeks. This is not something you buy overnight, right? So
yeah, yeah, you accumulate that kind of position.
yeah, yeah.
So let's see what he's doing. SEC. Yeah. It's like Elon Musk almost did a hostile takeover of Twitter when he did it. That's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
how that went.
Listen, those guys were lucky, man. He bailed out those investors. I'm
Yeah.
sure they're very happy when they made him stick to that price of what was it like $40 or something, and Twitter was trading less than that. So I'm sure they were very very happy to get that sale going.
Amazing. Mental game. You're saying your second funded account doing better than the first because of naked trading. Awesome. Keep
That's
trading
great,
naked.
man. Yep, yep.
You got a strategy that works and you're able to execute it consistently. You're getting some rhythm. Stick to it.
Yeah,
Whether you play blues or jazz, whatever your rhythm is, man. You got a rhythm. That's good.
Alexander, good buddy. Man, I haven't seen you in a while on YouTube, man. Welcome. I haven't seen you on here. You might be on and just not chatting, but man, good to see you. Been with us for quite some time. Um, so yeah, yeah. There was somebody today that did very good too on the funded account. They had like 1,100. So that's big. That's a big number. So hopefully they keep trucking away there
Mhm.
and can get a payout. Um,
Keep
so
going, keep going, keep going.
yep.
Good fun. Last few questions in here. We got Nicholas Karen. Explain how you're comfortable without volume. I'm comfortable because for a long time I didn't use it. Basically, all of last quarter I noticed I didn't use the volume bars at all. So eventually I'm like,
Mm,
it's just taking up real estate. So I removed it. That's basically it. You don't just remove it and then freak out.
yeah.
I don't do it that way. Blue chip allure. You're talking about my options trading. You want to know what the strategy, how I perfected it. Yeah, so recently I made a short video on it. That's in the BBT Education Center. So yeah, take a look at that. I think for $1 you get the access to that
Yeah.
whole section of the Education Center. So it's all in there. Pretty much, straight up simple in enough detail that you get a good grip on it.
Yeah,
So
head over to bearwithchoice.com/YouTube and you get that dollar promo gets you in and you can see all the videos. There's 25 of them right now, so including Avi's.
there
But
you
yeah,
go.
talking about volume, man, that's a good point. Before we hop off here, like, I'll be honest, when I get into trades, I really don't look at volume as much as I look at the time in sales. Like the volume bars at the bottom, I have them here, but I really don't look at them before taking a trade. And the reason is because I noticed that usually I want to be in the trade before that volume comes in. So I'm not going to see that volume, So I notice sometimes, because you might have people say, let's look at Uber for a second here. And again, I'm not saying people are wrong for looking at volume. There are strategies that work very well. My strategy doesn't work very well by looking at volume. Actually, let's look at POTR. Is POTR a good example? Yeah, see, I didn't look at volume here. Let's look at the 1 minute. Let's go 1 minute on this. Quick before we run out of time here. Let's go the 1 minute. So here it is. Oh, so messy. I got lucky on this, guys. All right. So for example, here, like look at my entry. My entry probably has the lowest volume, right? So it's really compared to what happened before. Now, always keep in mind that the beginning of the day, the volume is always going to be a lot higher, then it dwindles down. But look here on my entry, right? Let me zoom in a little bit more if I can. So right here on my entry, you see this entry here. Volume is pretty low, and you don't see no volume come in after that. Still turned out to be a great trade, but the volume wasn't really there. So for my strategy, again, it's a 5-minute breakout, so I really don't look at the volume as much as other people do, but I do look at the time and sales. I want to see that the order's flowing nicely, and that I'm actually getting activity and it's not stagnant, right? I know that's kind of a little bit hard to explain without seeing a video, seeing an extra example of it, so maybe I'll try to record something next week so we could share it here. So kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm with you, man. Volume, I probably could take it out and probably not miss it, but it's there.
Yeah, sometimes things are on your charts just because out of habit and just a bit of a comfort zone, not necessarily that you use it, which is great because psychologically, if it makes you comfortable, if it's soothing, keep it where it is.
Yeah. So it depends. Other strategies needed more than others. Like I could see a reversal strategy wanting to see the volume. Okay, are we getting what they call it ending price volume, right? Where the volume spikes up pretty high because people are getting in and out. So you got this battle happening, and that could mean a reversal if your other criteria match up. So there's so much. Here's the one advice I can give you. There's not one set indicator, whether it's volume, whether it's moving averages. You have to have a series of things you want to look for. And let's say you have 5. If you check off 3, that could still be a great trade. So that's what it is. It's no one single thing and say, hey, I'm just gonna look at this and be done with it. And in your case, you have not much. You have the price action, because the price is an indicator, whether you think about it or not. It is an indicator. So you have your indicator. You're looking at patterns, and you're looking at your measure moves, right? So you have 3 things that you're looking at, Avi, that that help you make your decision. So some people have more, some people have less. So it depends on how they're running their strategies.
Absolutely, yeah. You gotta refine your strategy. Make sure you can do it consistently and get a consistent result. That's the key.
Yep. All right, last thing here, Max 7 flushing. Meta not so much. Nvidia, but overall, yes. Overall, DJ points, yes. Look at Amazon. Amazon's down 4%, heading back to low of the day. We have Nvidia also down 0.5%. Is Meta the only one green? Meta's the only one green, I think.
Meta only one pushing up.
Apple down 2%. Yeah,
there it goes.
It's wild.
Things are down.
Things are down going into the afternoon on a Friday. Friends, thank you so much for joining us as we end the week. Hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. Subscribe. We do this every day, Monday through Friday when the market is open. We'll be back again on Monday. And then don't forget, Tuesday afternoon, we have earnings as well. So have an amazing weekend. Avi, always great sitting here chatting with you, man. Take care, and a nice leather jacket.
Awesome. Congrats on your leather jacket too, Carlos. Always a pleasure.
I can't wait,
guys.
I can't wait. Should be fun. I'll wear it as soon as it arrives here in 3 weeks or a month.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Guys, take care. Have a great one.
See you guys.